Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Today we're going to be playing Summer in Woodlake, made by our very own, I don't know where you are from me, so Petra, who's over here, this general area. Other way, Grin. Yes, over there! um, but yeah, we're going to be playing her game today. She's going to go into a little bit more detail, but first, we do have one new face on the stream. I'm going to hand it over to Finbart.
Hello, I am Finbar. Twitter is FinbarDS as it is there. I'm new here. I'm very excited. We're gonna play some spooky stuff. If you like my role playing, I'm making another podcast already. Role playing called Feelings First. It's very gay. That's me.
I mean, that totally sells me on it. I'm so,
If that doesn't, the current season is about being a fairy circus in a role playing game.
Oh,
where
I can
also-
totally identify with that.
Yeah, also, yeah, it's exceptionally gay. It's very good stuff. You should go listen to it, everybody. Thank you.
If you want to post a link in the Twitch, feel free.
Ooh, I should do that.
And then we've got the amazing Remley Farr, who's been on the channel before.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Rim. Great to be back. It's been a while. I feel like, out of retirement comes Rim Far. So, you can find me at my website, which is www.rimleafar.com. It's very easy to remember if you know my name. I do have other social media stuff. I don't use it too much. As far as plugging something of mine, a week ago, I released Happy Jack's Funhouse in the Indie 5e edition that's about creepy killer clown stuff. And it is bumping back and forth between being at number 1 and number 2 spot on the DM's Guild. So it's like, oh yeah, fancy, badge of approval. And that is who I am. That's all you need to know about me.
Also, Rem is, we've been in talks about him playing some of his content that he's making on the channel. So you guys should stay tuned because he showed me one of the games he wants to run. It's going to be a treat, guys. It's going to be...
Do I need to turn around and show the cover of it, or we wait until later?
We'll wait till later. It's very Rem. It makes me so happy. And then next we have Madfish and Friend.
This is Jin. There are squirrels outside, and he's very interested in them, but I wanted everyone to say hello to Jin, because he's the best cat. Hello. Okay, there you go, bud.
You might have to fight a bunch of other cat owners that are either in this stream or on the channel.
Well, the thing is, all cats are best cats. So, that's just how it goes.
True.
Yeah. I'm Madfish. I have gamed with Ginger before, but not for a while, and I'm super excited. I love spooky things because I'm an old goth, and I'm super excited about that. And I do tons of gaming all over the place, but my computer is too crappy to do any streaming of my own. So mostly I just hang out on Twitter, and I also do some writing for Nerdburger Games. I did some writing for the new Capers expansion, which has just come out. It's still on Kickstarter, so go check that out. It's called Capers Covert. You get to be a super James Bond super spy, and have like wacky gadgets and travel the world and solve mysteries and stuff. It's super
So it's like Carmen Sandiego meets Inspector Gadget.
Yeah,
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, and you have superpowers.
Ooh. All right. Do you still do your Etsy store for dice bags?
I still have my Etsy store, and I have dice bags there, and necklaces, and all kinds of stuff. And
Sweet.
Yeah. So go check that out. I'll post the link in the chat.
And then I'll hand it over to Petra, who can introduce herself and go over the game a little bit.
Yes, hello everyone. I'm Petra. I'm a writer and game designer, language teacher. You can find me on Twitter. I can post my complicated German name handle later on. And then, so I wrote Summer in Woodlake and also a couple of other really small games. And you can find all of those on Twitch. It's petrab.itch.io if you want to check it out yourself. And so Summer in Woodlake is the basic premise is that a group of childhood friends comes together during summer break in their hometown, that is Woodlake, and all of them know that it's very, very likely to be the last time that they get to spend time together as a group, because some people have already left for college or, you know, taken up a job. So the good old school days where everybody saw each other every day have been over for some time. And yeah, it's also a supernatural horror RPG for a good reason, because we're going to take the coming of age metaphor and smack you in the face with some gruesome supernatural spoopy things, sort of like a backhand comment about coming of age. What else? The game is powered by the Apocalypse game, meaning that the mechanics are based on the Apocalypse World engine designed by Mac and Vincent Baker. The reason why I picked it, well, one reason is that it's relatively rule light. It's easy to get into. Doesn't take a long time to set it up, because you have playbooks to choose from that give you a rough outline for your character, and then you get to customize it further. And I also added backgrounds, and when we go around and introduce the characters, you will find out what backgrounds they chose, because I wanted to give players a few more options of making the character their own, and making sure that you have many different combinations of character builds that you can have in the game. Then, yeah, it's also easy in that there are only 4 stats. I think Apocalypse World itself only has 4 stats, and same is true here. So we have body and senses and heart and mind. And whenever characters want to do something, or the players want to do something that either furthers the plot or they react to something, you know, looking for information, trying to get out of a hairy situation, trying to persuade somebody using violence, and so on and so forth, they have to roll a so-called move, which then correlates to one of the stats. And there are 3 possible outcomes. Either you roll a 10 or higher, which is a great success, or you roll a 7 to 9, which is a partial success, so you get what you want, but at a cost. But if you roll a 6 or lower, you're pretty much fucked. Well, it depends on what the situation is. Sometimes just nothing will happen, but more often than not, yeah, the consequences will be not so pretty.
I want you guys to know that it took a lot for me not to say great success right after you said it, but in Borat's voice. Yeah, that's all I got.
I can't hear the greater good without responding in a chant. The greater good, because of...
There you go.
Because of hot sauce.
And it's like magic, it never happened. So one other thing I just wanted to mention. Someone said that Petra was a little quiet. So I don't know if it's for everybody watching, or if it was just for that person because someone else said it was fine. I don't really know. Just kind of throwing it out there.
The thing is, normally I'm too loud, so I try to speak a little bit softer, but I moved the mic a little bit closer, and I'm just going to speak in my normal voice.
Yes.
I'm not going to.
You should be the loudest. You made this.
Yes.
Also, it might make it scarier.
Jump scare with the power of your voice alone.
And then, I didn't even see what happened yet.
Yeah, but keep me updated. Let me know if it's better. You folks in the chat, just gonna use my normal voice and not my very private come hither voice.
The inside voice versus the outside voice. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, let me know if it's still not fine. Then I can put something under my mic. I have to get a better. So after when I moved, I didn't take my mic stand.
You want to come wave?
Because that way I could have the mic right up here. So anyway, yes. Another reason.
You just
Which
can't talk.
is the
It's just
Apocalypse
talking.
World engine is that
You can stick
it
your face in
builds
front of
up
mine, though.
pressure fast.
Oh,
So every character only has only has 5 life points, and if you take your 5th harm, you're dead. Dead. Well, unless it's about, I don't know, zombies or something.
Like, make new character dead, or like you get to sit there and enjoy the comfort of the rest of the people dead?
Well, I've never had a character die so far, to be
Rem,
honest. So
that's a challenge,
So,
Rem. Rem and I are on it.
I grabbed the chainsaw by the pointy part.
Yeah.
I say,
Well-
what's that, as it comes closer to me.
One of the things I really like in Capers is if you hit 0 hit points, your options are you can choose to let your character die, but you go out with a bang. So you get to, if you do choose to let your character die, you get to do some big epic thing before you go, right? Like, you save everybody or whatever. Or you can choose for your character to be out of play. So, you're severely injured and you have to go spend several weeks in the hospital. So your character is like now out of play for, X amount of time. Or, you can, or the, whatever, like, or you can go forward with, maybe they lose a limb going forward or whatever. Like, so, it's not, when you hit 0, it's not necessarily like death now.
I like to think that Petra's like, those are great options. You're dead. That's it.
No.
So long. Get out.
No,
Make a
would-
4-panel overlay.
you would be dead, but you're bringing up a valid point. But I'm the type of DM. I'm not throwing that many things at my player. I know there are DMs who have a different playstyle, especially when you play it as a one-shot, who are just in your face constantly, things happening. But it's more likely that you're going to be driven crazy or mad than die. But you make a good point. I should probably add, for the next update, add a little note on what happens if you play it as a mini campaign and somebody dies halfway through, because that would then.
Can we just be ghosts and haunt people?
Yes, I was gonna say, you gotta come back as a ghost. I mean, it's a horror movie. Come on.
This is your line. The one other episode you get to play. Boo.
Well, we'll cross that bridge should we get to it. But yeah, so the other thing that we have are breaking points. And whenever characters run into something that they cannot rationally explain away, they have to roll the move Witness the Uncanny. And then depending on how well they roll, they might take 1 or even 2 so-called breaking points. And when you hit the 5th, you experience a mental breakdown of sorts. However, since this is a mini campaign, I'm going to add one of the optional rules I have or added to the GM section. Namely, you will be able to heal 1 breaking point per night of good sleep. If you get a good night's rest, then you can heal 1 breaking point. Very quickly for the harm.
Just this if this person is anything like me when I was in my sort of second year of university, there's no such thing as a good night's sleep. I've never heard of it. I don't know. What? I wasn't even haunted. This poor boy.
Dubs, hit me with the shovel. We're gonna have a great nap right now. Take an Advil, do it.
Yeah,
How to get over trauma. Head trauma.
Yes, that is. I'm definitely aware that might be a tricky thing to have a good night's sleep. The other thing, before I forget about harm, you can stabilize or patch up wounds if you're on your own. It depends on what the materials are you can find. Like if it's like a mild burn and you find some ice, that's fine. But as long as your character doesn't get any professional help, you would only be able to heal somebody else or yourself for 1 harm at a time. Yeah. then, you know, if you're really, really injured, forearm,
Go to a hospital.
the clock's ticking.
I said go to the hospital.
Yeah, go to the hospital, because then you're really messed up and
Roll for
Yeah.
insurance.
yeah.
Oh no! It's the United States.
If you live in America, you're fucked.
Ooh.
Moving on.
I'm
It got too real. It got too real. I'm already scared. Back out. Back out.
Oh, it's terrifying.
What was the hard limit at yellow?
I'm back on German health insurance, so I'm good.
Listen, you braggy bitch.
I don't want to tempt fate by trying to brag about the NHS. We might not have them much longer.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same way in Canada.
It's gonna be a yikes for me, dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last thing I want to throw out there, not just for you people in the chat, but also for the players. This is not a game that's designed where you necessarily solve the issue, whatever supernatural, spooky things are going on. Because it's more likely that this is something that's just larger than you, bigger than you. It's too overpowering. And so, yeah.
So it's
You
kind of
will
like
be-
Cthulhu in that regard, where if you don't always have to fight the thing, you just need to know how to get out of the situation.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's
We're not
for
the
that.
Ghostbusters.
There's a move for that. I mean, you're all playing young people who probably don't always are able to gauge their own limits very well, maybe. So I don't know how far you would go, but I mean, that's
Yeah,
up to you.
teenagers are not exactly known for, you know,
Did you say
their
Ghostbuster?
personal levels of control and impulse control low.
Yes. Okay, cool. That's enough for that. Once we get to start rolling moves, I would ask you to maybe read the move when it comes up for the first time. I also have it right here in front of me. Yeah, just so that the peeps at home know
They'll
what's
be able to
going on.
see it. The rolls actually show up on screen, and if you guys labeled them correctly, pretty much there were little macros. So as long as the macro is labeled correctly, they can actually see it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, then...
You still read it, though.
Let's-
I'm just saying. In case people are listening and not watching.
Yeah. And it's also, I mean, here's a funny thing. You would think that if you write a role-playing game, you know it, you know, all the ins and outs. Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, what was that move again?
I was on a coffee-fueled bender. Let me go reread the rule.
Wake up one morning. Where did this RPG book come from? What's my name on it?
Oh, man.
Why did I sign it in my blood?
Why do I have all this?
Why
money
is the
left
next
in my
page tears? Wait.
Okay. Wonderful. Let's start getting into introducing your characters. So we will go around twice. The first time I'm just going to ask you to introduce your character, divulge whatever information you would like to let us know. You can keep all your secrets or other tidbits you, for whatever reason, don't want to give away yet to yourself. But let us know what their name is, what playbook you picked, background, what they look like, and yeah, what kind of person they are. Rem, let's start with your character. Who are you
Let
playing?
us start with me.
Yes.
All right, I'm playing a guy named Warwick Wesley, but people call him Dubs because he's got that.
Why?
Nice...
I haven't asked you yet. Where does that nickname come from?
It comes from the fact that he's got that alliterative name, the Warwick Wesley, so it's 2 W's. So Dubs, that's what he is. He's
Okay, got it.
the double W's, as you would call it. So quadruple U. That could have been his other nickname. Dubs is 20 years old. He his background is cheerleader, and his playbook is The One Who Never Left. So he's still in Woodlake. He didn't take off. He's hanging around. He's as far as his appearance, we see a lot of these guys where I live. where we have a lot of loggers because he is a logger, and they'll usually show up with their bright lime green shirts or neon orange, so you can see them. Usually, always kind of dirty, with boots, some like cargo pants or jeans. He's bearded. His work job is called Oggen's Loggin because it made me chuckle when I wrote it. I came up with that. So he does work for a logging group. He lives with his brother, Gordon, and he has chosen to stay in Woodlake because college is expensive, and he does not like debt. He is also trying to better himself one step at a time, so he has given up on swearing.
That's good. I have a question.
Yes.
That cheerleader background. Is that literally? Did you?
Oh
really?
no. He's just a really good. He was not a literal cheerleader, in that sense. But I thought it was funny that the cheerleader background is for someone who tries to keep the team together, everyone going. And I guess if anyone would be the most excited to see his friends back, would be the guy who never got the hell out of town. It's like, yay! All the people that abandoned me are back here. And
Well,
so my character's gonna die. No. Like, who would be the one to kill to make it emotional? But no.
And Dubs, what special move did you pick? So very quickly,
Okay.
For you folks in chat, every background comes with two special moves that you can choose from. Which one did you go for?
I chose the one called "Don't Fuck with My Team," but I call it "Don't Fudge with My Team."
Oh, right.
Stubbs isn't the kind of guy to say that kind of word, which means if someone is coming for your team, well, let them try. Add +1 to your if you threaten someone who has been hostile towards a friend, PC or NPC. Don't touch my friends. I will get my axe out the back of my truck, and I will count how many rings you are to see how old you are once I'm done with you. And I will use
I do hope we get a "you have my axe" line.
Oh yeah.
But it's like, and my axe.
And he got my axe.
Or you can pull the old Crocodile Dundee one. You call that an axe?
That's not an axe.
But ask you how much this hurts. Pah! Start.
So many great puns available.
I mean, I really want to make him super country, but it's in the Northwest, so I'm gonna have to like stay away from that.
It's fine. We can. So I said it earlier before we went online. So if you look at the current version of Someone Woodlake, it still says it's located somewhere in the Pacific Northwest. I'm going to remove that because I said earlier, all you need is you make sure you have a really small town, 20,000-ish people there. You need a lake. You need to have a lot of forest to have spoopy things in it, and that's all you need. And then you can place it wherever you want.
All right, so
Yeah.
I'll
And
play
also
like that.
Then I'll get a little woodsy with him.
I like that.
Okay.
I support that. Also, since the question came up in chat, and if I got to say it, it's the year 2015. So I personally wanted to have a game that takes place in our contemporary time in the 2000s. And I made some suggestion on how to use cell phones. So you all have your cell phones, which is a few years back, before things started happening both in the US and in the UK and then everywhere that I'm not going to get into.
Smart move, Petra.
And I also just realized I meant to look up what was in the charts in 2015. It's fine. Probably Rihanna or something like that. Yeah. Okay. So thank you. That is Dubs. And then Ginger Ninja, what about you?
I am going to be playing the background of the emo. Her name is Mila Kars. She has very long black hair. She's very pale, and she's very... I don't give a shit about anything. She graduated high school and is now working in the same town as Dubs, just kind of keeping to herself and trying to work. And her ultimate goal is to just kind of move away and get out of town. She pretty much lives on her own, basically. She's 18. And the special move that she has, it's kind of, well, it's called Whatever. Things can't get any worse. If a friend tries to interfere with you because they think that what you want to do is a bad idea, add +1.
Gonna do it anyway. So Mila and Dubs, would you say that, so both of you basically stayed in Woodlake?
Yeah, I like to think that we probably see each other like once a week just to check in. Like, we're probably not best buds and hang out every day, but
like you're here.
Yeah.
Everyone else is gone, so whatever.
Yeah, we just kind of like, we'll hang out every once in a while, probably wherever we all used to hang out.
We got like that bond because they all left.
Yeah.
And we're here.
So
it's
you're
like-
two bitter adolescents
Yes.
meeting up once a week, sort of, oh, all these other people that left us and they left us behind.
They left us.
Your young person voice sounds like I'm gonna do an impression of an old-timey gold prospector.
Yes, I don't know why I did that.
Oh!
Yes, I don't know why I did that.
Those kids left us! We're also the older...
Chickens.
We're both 20. How old are the other two people in the group?
I think I said
Didn't you just
20?
say she was 19? I wrote on 18. What did you say?
I changed it because it's 20. She's 20.
Okay.
It was 21, and then we were not of age, so she's 20.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
And then, how old is Leia?
He's 19.
Okay, so yeah, we're not any older. We're just
I think-
probably
yeah.
grumpy that
So
everyone left us.
just
Maybe we feel older because his town dates us.
Yeah.
yeah.
And yeah, there you go.
Old souls.
We have to work now. We have to get jobs.
And you don't. If you want to grow up, you don't go to college because that's where you just like hold on desperately to being young for 3 more years.
We're
I
trying to
mean,
Peter
that's-
Pan it over here.
I mean, that's what I did.
We're
I mean,
pirates.
why did you think I stayed in academia for so long before getting my actual first job? And that even was in academia, so yeah.
Does that
Okay,
make Dubs Mr. Smee, by the way, in that reference?
But Captain.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna clip that later. Okay, sorry, Petra.
I mean, it will make a nice clip.
It's gonna be an intro clip from whenever you start anything. Like
Next
a
week,
ringtone.
it'll be next week's intro clip. What happened?
I have to ask because that reference went completely over my head. Where's
Peter
it from?
Pan,
Yeah.
Mr. Smee,
Just me.
Captain Hook, and Mr. Smee.
He talks like really like droopy almost from Looney Tunes. I'm gonna stop before my character gets another background change.
And so, okay, so Mila, you said you had this kind of whatever, attitude. Dubs, what would you say is your general attitude to life and everything?
He is now having to, bitterly accept the fact that he is working. He's doing like the kind of the job that a lot of other people here do. He works. He's like an arborist, tree surgeon, logging. So he doesn't feel like he's all that special like he might have done so when he was in college. He is starting to become a good old boy, maybe, which is not quite what he had in mind for his future, but he is, and he still isn't quite so independent. He's living with his brother, who's kind of helping him set everything up. So it's one of those things where he has to have some help to get going, and he wishes he could be more independent, but truth is he's not. He's got some more personal learning to do, and maybe just sitting in this town working a slow job for a few years might be what finally makes him go, fuck it, I gotta do something else. But as of now, he's doing what he's doing.
I think Mila envies Dubs because she mostly lives alone because it's her and her dad is literally hasn't been home in months. He just travels for work and chooses to do that. So she's alone all the time. So she probably envies you a little bit, and maybe vice versa, because she is independent.
That works.
Lovely.
Making bonds. James Bond.
James, damn it.
Beat you to it. All right, thank you, you two. We'll come back to you when we go around the second time. Madfish, what about your character?
I'm sorry, I'm having some computer trouble. Can you come back to me?
Yeah, let's go to Finn.
Hello. I am playing Quinn Forrester, who is the playbook I went for is the college dropout. So yeah, he went away to go to college. I'm going to screw up and call it university several times because yeah, but he went away to college. It's been about like it's been the 9 months or so of the academic year, and he dropped out like 2/3 the way through. Basically, didn't even make it to like exam season. And is now back, and he's told maybe some of you. Definitely hasn't told his parents yet. Doesn't have a place to go back to there. Doesn't have a plan for what to do here. Is somewhat coming apart at the seams about that. But the background I picked for Quinn is the class clown, because he is covering all of that insecurity and worry with as many bad puns as he can get his hands on. Which I think also leans into the special move I picked is called Behind the Mask, which is when you help a person by making them laugh and thus boosting their morale, add +1. If you help the same person again, add +2, but you also mark one breaking point of I can be cheerful enough that I can really help other people out, but it does come with the cost of my own ability to function. Which
Too
I
real.
love.
Too real.
Yeah,
Was
as for
one of my favorite moves to write.
it's good. It's good stuff. Quinn's kind of look is like kind of in contrast to probably some of the other friends who like have very defined aesthetics. It's just like I don't know, it's jeans that fit and a t-shirt. It's comfortable. I don't really care. With quite like his hairstyle routine is he wakes up, washes, dries his hair mostly, and that's about all the styling he does. The wind does the rest of the work for him. And then, yeah, I think a thing that probably a bunch of people have politely commented on since he got back is that he's really skinny. Like, he did not eat well while he was away from people who would take care of his needs for him.
Usually goes the other way around. Once you start college, thinking back of my own time.
He went the way of like, oh, no one is like setting out. Here's a meal time where you'll do the thing. So he just
he's like an unfed dog.
Eats when he remembers to, which is not really often enough and never healthily enough. And yeah, he's now just like quite skinny, quite pale, and everyone's like, you look thin. Sorry, hit me.
Who is part of Quinn's family?
Stop! Fuck.
Oh.
Sorry, I thought I was muted. I'm really mad at my computer.
Do you want to reboot? Okay. Go ahead and reboot. Might help.
I think you muted yourself through the reply, and now
it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. I think Quinn doesn't have like any brothers and sisters. But there was lots of like, oh, he's going away to like. I think he was, while he was the class clown and all that, was like quite smart and was going to like quite a fancy college, and was like there was a lot of like, oh, he's gonna go get a great like degree and a great job and live a wonderful high flying successful life, and he got there and fell apart.
What was he going to? What did he enroll in?
Okay, you're gonna have to tell me. The system here is you pick a course, like I would say engineering, and then I go do that for 3 years. But that's not how America works, is it?
Yeah,
4
it's
years. You just pick whatever degree you're going for. You can go
Okay.
undecided, and pick after a year of doing like the gen ed courses, or you could pick like I'm gonna go for like a marketing major or an accountant or whatever, and then you do that for 4 years or however many years it requires.
I mean, compared with German universities, the whole major and minor system is similar to what's going on in the US, with the difference is that you have to decide what your major is or your majors at the beginning before you even start. Like you cannot do the whole undecided thing. You have to know it right now.
Yeah.
Fair.
So yeah, I don't know how that works in the UK. But I mean, what was just the subject he was going for?
I think he was probably like going for, like I want to say like engineering or something, like that comes with like I like gonna go build like trains and shit. Like he was the whole I don't know. I'm not sure what his life goal was, but there
so
was
that
lots of, like
the wood loggers can log more wood, and we can transport more wood and
I
export
think,
more wood.
I think there was the awkward conversation that had never really happened between his parents and him was like, I'm gonna go away and get this degree in this very particular like field, and the very thing obvious to them and him was that there are no jobs in Woodlake that want that field. So it's like, we're just not going to discuss that at all. No, it's fine. And now he is back degreeless and with nowhere to return to. So yeah.
Yeah, when we go around again and to talk about bonds, you could see or decide if Quinn maybe has told one of his friends
Yes.
about what's going on. But
Sounds like a plan.
for now, thank you. So Madfish, what's going on with your computer behaving?
Dude, mostly.
We could see and hear you. Does that count?
Yeah, that's good. At least it's doing that. So, yeah. So I managed to get everything. My PDF kept crashing and everything. So I managed to get everything cut and pasted into a text file. So, I am playing Leia Goldman. She is the college freshman from the playbook. She is 19, and she was known as an activist in school from a very young age. She used to watch all those kids' shows and all of those lessons about recycling and taking care of the environment, and all of that were very, very influential on her. So she started out really, really young on that sort of thing, and she's sort of grown up, and it's only gotten more focused for her. So, she would, she just won't let people, use like offensive terms, or she spearheaded the recycling program in the school, and got everybody got a compost started and all of that kind of stuff. So when she went to university to study sociology and whatnot, like, nobody was surprised. And she came from a reasonably not a wealthy family, but their family was doing okay, pretty fine. So she went did a little bit of backpacking as well through Europe.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And who is part of her immediate family? Does she have siblings?
Yeah, I think she has a couple of younger siblings. I'm sorry, someone just came to my door. I'll be right back.
Yeah, do that.
Be the most meta, scary game we've ever done. Petra's already hired someone to go get it.
Multiple stage contract hits,
Good luck. My girlfriend's in there. She's feisty.
I was gonna say, don't give me ideas. I might contact people close to you. And...
Die in the game, you die in real life.
A friend of mine from Germany did come back. She's leaving tomorrow. So that's why she go visit your old home.
I didn't mention about my character that she's doing a lot of research about jobs she could have, and she's taking online courses. Like, she's doing that, like, not necessarily for a degree, but things to learn more, so that she can get out of this town faster. She doesn't know what she wants to do, but she's like, I'm gonna learn how to fix computers, and then I'm gonna learn how to fix this, and I'm gonna learn how to create, like, you know, ledgers for accounting. Like, she's, like, trying to, like, be well-rounded so she can kind of, like, figure it out whenever she does move.
And if you go to Skillshare.com/Mila, you too can learn all these skills.
We have a lovely promotional. Nothing's gonna show up here. You'll be waiting a long time.
This Facebook like pyramid scheme kind of.
Rem, I told you not to mention that while we're streaming.
Oh, I know. I meant the one. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the real one.
What?
It's not a pyramid.
Nothing.
It's like a reverse funnel.
It's like a reverse funnel.
Or like a dropped ice cream cone.
Oh my god, I can't deal with you. A dropped ice cream
I had
cone.
ice cream earlier today.
Yeah.
To come back to me.
The tone is lighter.
Oh, this is just, you know, I'm allowing you to be cheerful before we get
into it.
Yeah, but Ginger, you said that Mila, she does have a job right now, right?
Yes. She's a 911 operator. She has a very monotone tone, and because her skill, the other skill that I didn't take is, you know, you can sense people's feelings and stuff. There's no reward to it in this case. It's just that makes her better at, like, she's already pretty low as far as, like, you know, feeling accomplished and things like that. So I feel like it helps her to kind of calm people down, because she's like, your situation could be a lot worse. We could come help you. She kind of like she's good at like talking people through like rough times. But nothing ever happens here, so she really just sits there and does her online courses at work.
And when I have to contact her, her number in my phone is 911. So, what is your emergency?
Dubs, stop calling me. They record these calls. Sir?
Who's Dubs? I don't know who Dubs is.
Yeah, I was going to say, I did some random research yesterday how easy it actually is to get to archives of 911 calls, and I found out that the rules or the laws are different in every state.
Yeah.
And
unless it's an ongoing case, you can't. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of really embarrassing drunk phone calls I've made to the 911 in Woodlake.
Oh, I thought you meant.
No.
I was like, wait, get off. No. Are you about to get in trouble? How are you doing today? Sir, you've called this number 4 times. This is not the sex hotline. This is 911. Stop calling me. You sound angry.
I got an emergency. I'm lonely.
I can see Dubs totally
There's
doing
a
that.
very, very bad boy in my house.
He's gonna get me.
Oh
man. You better come over here.
Okay, how likely is it that I would say I can totally see that last year in summer, before Quinn went off to college and Leia went off to college, that you maybe prank called Mila together. Or I don't know, would Leia do something like that? But I can probably see Dubs and Quinn sort of pull a stand like that.
Maybe I blew you guys off to pick up like an extra shift, and you guys called me or something. You know what I mean?
Okay. Hello. I'm looking for Fat Albert in a can. That's how the joke goes, right? Yeah.
What?
Your refrigerator working? Oh shit! I messed it up.
Yeah.
But the best part is I don't tell them, but there's caller ID, and they aren't blocking their numbers, so I know it's them every time. And I'm like, oh no, maybe I should go catch it, Dubs.
How did you know my name? Now that my name is Dubs. Click.
*67, restrict your phone number, and then it calls restricted. Hey Dubs. Just like 2 minutes later.
God.
I'm sorry about stepping away there, but
It's okay.
I got cake.
Woo!
That's the best reason to step away.
Yeah, my mom came over to bring me cake.
It's adorable.
So.
Aw.
Mom.
The meatloaf.
Yeah. So sorry.
Okay,
Where was
so
I
that-
with
That totally happened. You said siblings, and you said she probably has a couple of younger siblings.
Yeah, and they're probably like quite a bit younger than her, still in school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so she's close-ish to them. You know, reasonably friendly, but not like they're close. They're siblings, but they're not like BFFs or anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What is a special move you picked?
I picked never at a loss for words. Your passionate fight for the things you care about has made you an excellent negotiator and debater. Add +1 when you try to persuade someone who is your age or older. So she definitely, you know, was in the debate club and all of that kind of stuff. She spends a lot of time.
How about that one in real life? Rad.
I know, right? Yeah. So I have some background stuff. One person I have known since kindergarten.
Oh, one sec. Oh, actually, we can start with you. We can now go the other way around. I just wanted to see if there was something else you wanted to tell about her. But yeah, let's now come. Yeah.
Oh, her look. She's very clean.
Right.
She's clean and puts herself together, but she's not really like heavily makeup or anything like that. Fairly simple. She just has long brown hair and she puts it up in a ponytail. She's always wearing a t-shirt that says some environmental logo, some kind of charity that she's sponsored, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she wears jewelry handmade by her sponsored children in Africa.
Yes, she does. Would the question to the others, would you ever sort of make fun of her lovingly for that?
Well, I imagine she's probably got like a Save the Forest shirt, yet for a living I literally go out and remove trees. So it's like we might have like an ongoing little beat you today. Come on, you gotta step up your game.
She's like chained to one of your trees, and you're like, again.
Oh my goodness. I'm just gonna cut the other one down. There's like 10,000 of them.
Yeah, she's absolutely the kind of person who would chain herself to a tree.
Okay.
But she's not stupid.
And then Mila, you're gonna get called because by Dubs because Leia changed herself to a tree again.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Dubs calls me and says it, I'm like, just call me on my cell phone. Why? Now I have to send police out there. You realize this, right?
Yeah.
I think she's I think she would do that, but at the same time I think she's not stupid. You know, she's not one of those people who we should never cut down any tree ever.
Maybe the oldest tree in town that they had to remove because it was like gonna fall over, and you were like, he's okay, we can save him.
Yeah, exactly. You know, something like a big.
Went there and watered it every day.
Yeah.
At some natural fertilizer like cow shit. And
With hugs.
But does she chain herself facing out or in hugging it?
Oh, you face in when you hug, of course.
Okay.
The tree has to know that you're hugging.
But that's awkward if you like.
Yeah.
Save this tree.
You guys should. Fuck! I really should have turned myself around.
Your face
You got a mirror?
Sap sticky. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not
So
what
then
I'm
that's
about.
stuck to the tree.
So what you're saying is it's a sticky hug.
Happy hug.
Well, you know.
A sappy hug. Are all hugs sappy hugs? Sorry, I'm so sorry, Petra. I feel like we haven't gotten as far as we should have. So.
No. I I meant for this to happen.
Okay.
It's all good.
Okay.
We're developing bonds and history, and
Yes.
Get away from my tree! As we're like.
it's not tree now.
So I would assume that Leia kept something of that old tree, because ultimately it was taken down.
Yeah, she would have made some. She would have made some keychains, sold them off as a fundraiser.
Wait, you make money off a dying tree?
No, it's a fundraiser.
The corp doesn't fund itself.
Yeah. So if they absolutely insisted on cutting down the tree, fine. We'll use that as a fundraiser to save, another tree or another park. Put the money toward that.
So that tree did not die in vain.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So the money went toward saving another park in town or something.
Or planting that tree somewhere else.
Yeah, or planting a new tree.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Bus rental to the next protest.
Yeah. Protesting's expensive, man.
We're doing a bakery of dead trees to raise awareness.
This apple pie
Mila has like a bunch of just black frosting. She's like, I've been waiting to use this. You're murdering trees! And Mila's like, right on in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine that she has a never-ending stash of cupcake decorating, Halloween-themed sets at home.
Are they Halloween-themed or are they Mila-themed?
I mean,
Halloween's only one day a year.
Isn't it the same? Yeah, you have to buy it on.
Every goth I know is already celebrating Halloween. I don't think it's one day a year.
You have to buy it the week after Halloween. It's on sale.
There's a Ministry song called "Every Day Is Halloween."
It's fair.
It was established in 1994 that all goths are Halloween every day, all the time.
Boom.
Yes. At least inside, it's Halloween every day.
This is Halloween. Sorry. Now it's stuck in my head. Great. Is what you were reading the little things under in Roll20? Is that what you were starting to do? The lines that you fill in the background or whatever? I'm gonna find it.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't ask you specifically for that, but I mean, you already explained what you did, why you earned that label in high school, and if you still identify with that, or if you have ever identified with that.
Yeah, I definitely got labeled as an activist, and yeah, she still identifies that way, even more so, whereas in high school, she didn't have as much of an education on those subjects. She wasn't well educated. She was very much more reactive, and sort of enthusiastic than well taught. So now she actually has. So before, her it was just her passion and her energy that would really be convincing to people. But now she has that, plus she actually has a foundation in understanding sociological issues. So she is now sort of considering herself a true activist or proper activist, because she has broadened her experiences enough to kind of.
How did the other students in high school react to your activist endeavors?
I think some people were probably very annoyed. I think a lot of people probably just sort of brushed her off as a hippie, and she didn't. I think a lot of times she just sort of, people would just sort of smile and nod and in her face, and then just, I don't think anyone would actively hate or dislike her, but it was more of a just yeah, whatever.
So it's some days okay, could you not be on right now? We're just hanging out, watching a scary movie. You don't need to be talking about how I don't know, the seals in that scene were actually all brutally clubbed in the next minute. It's like, yeah, okay, the world sucks. We got it. Chill.
You're like a major downer. Yeah.
Just trying to have a nice evening.
Mhm.
If
Exactly.
people don't buy things at your bake sale, I feel like Mila is like, because you talk a lot about like, well, people are dying every day because we don't buy. She's very into it only from that aspect of like,
Mhm.
that's pretty metal. You're just yelling at people about death. So they probably walk by and ignore you, and you're like, okay, well, the trees are gonna die because of you. Have a good day. As they walk by. That's how she's supportive of you.
I think that would actually make a really interesting friendship. Like, I think the two of them, and one of my backgrounds is that I've known someone since kindergarten. So
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that would be an interesting relationship between Mila and Leia. Like, you know,
Yeah,
they
let's get into
kindergarten,
bonds.
and they became good friends.
Maybe
when they
people
were-
picked on you, and she was like the creepy one who was just like, well, you have stupid shoes. And they're just like, rude!
Or maybe we both like ended up sort of defending each other.
Yeah.
You know, people would pick on me and you would stand up for me, and people would pick on you and I would stand up for you. And then, you know, even in high school, like maybe we didn't necessarily always have the same interests, but we would just sort of, I think we still make
passively
time.
supportive. Yeah.
Yeah, we still like make time to hang out and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
not. I think maybe we would have been a lot closer when we were like little kids.
Yeah. This size, you think?
Yeah.
That's how science babies are.
Witty children.
By the way, I completely forgot to say that, but I would say let's everybody choose 2 bonds, and then for the third person, you're just gonna write down HX +1. For the peeps in chat, so the bonds decide or define the so-called HX number, which is like a history check, or the history that you have with another player character, and then if you roll to either help them or to intervene or to prevent them from doing something, that number then comes into play. So you add that instead of any of the other stats.
So if you have a bond with, you pick 2 people to have bonds with,
Mm-hmm.
and if you have bonds with them, it's a +1.
So each bond will have a hex something written next to it. Which is
For example, Leia she picked the one. Okay, you've known each other since kindergarten. I don't know what it says behind it.
It's a +1. Yeah.
+1?
+1.
So she will now write down Mila +1.
Got
But
it.
Mila, at this point, you don't write down anything. And now, Leia, you're just gonna pick another bond. Maybe suggest some kind of bond you think might fit with either reps.
So the five months before going to college, she went backpacking, and she did something during that time that she told someone about, and they were supportive.
Who was that person?
I don't know. How would I have? Who would be that person?
I don't know. Would I don't know how people feel about sharing with the idiot who makes jokes all the time about everything. So I don't know whether I'm going to get first in line.
You know, though, I think especially, you know, with her sociology background and whatnot, I think she'd be able to kind of pick out that the guy who makes jokes all the time is usually pretty insane. You know, and is like covering up for that. But I mean, at the same time, like, you know, she's very serious, and she's always, you know, with activism. But I think she has a sense of humor too.
Yeah, you need to have a person who's like, okay, cool, right, now let's chill.
Yeah, so I think she would like to hang out with him sometimes, because he can sort of bring that out in her, like bring out the sort of the other side of her. So she would have confessed to him that, like, all her life she's been very straight-laced.
One second. Mm-hmm. If you want, you can just share that secret, because it is also your secret with
yes
with Finbar
I will.
send him.
Yes, I will send him a message.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh,
Secretly.
secrets.
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 Yeah,
And
he
so
was
then,
always known for being very straight-laced and very, you know. Oh, whoops! I posted her secret in the chat, in the main chat when I.
I know it was, but we
I
were.
meant to post it to you.
I know. Yeah, I figured, but.
We can still
I
keep it
actually
secret from the audience.
If it makes me feel any better, I didn't read it.
Okay.
I forgot.
You have secrets? What's going on? What's going on, guys?
Rem and I are like, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
And so, Leia, then for Dubs, you would just write down a +1, Ajax 1.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So what was your character's name? Quinn?
Quinn.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, then let's continue with Quinn. Pick 2 bonds, and then
Okay.
suggest who you think might be the best.
So as we
partner in
have
crime for that.
2 people who've stayed in town, and one of them is desperate to get out, and the other one has specifically chosen to not pursue college because of the debts you accrue. Blank knows that you dropped out and they don't approve. How did they criticize you? Who's mad at Quinn for wasting his opportunity?
We can tie our bonds together because mine was going to be. Can I tell what my bond was that was going to fit for Quinn?
Hit me.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says you and Quinn dreamed about running your own business in Woodlake, but then they left. So
Yeah,
you were supposed
good.
to go get your business license or learn how to chop trees down.
Business license.
You go into the University of the United States to get your business license.
It was gonna be called Chop Suey.
Chop suey, hell yeah.
There were grand dreams of making something of ourselves, and then I just fucked it up. Cool. Yeah, no.
that would make sense if you know Quinn went to college and Dubs, you were expecting for him to get all the education to make that business of yours work. What so since Quinn, you are okay with that, what was your? Oh no, let's talk about your business idea when we actually get to Dubs.
Yeah. Okay. And then I've got one for somebody once saved me from getting into trouble. What was this about?
Maybe the cops got called on you. Maybe someone called 911 on you.
Oh, I would. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. Maybe Leia did something.
That's kind of funny to me. It's like got like a text going, "They're coming, get out." It's like, oh shit. It's hilarious to me. And it's what?
Hold on, what's Leia's? Because maybe it's better.
What was your idea?
Oh, sorry, my speaker keeps cutting out. I was just gonna say because she's so, sweet and straight-laced and probably well known around town as being very clean and sober.
It's like, yeah, he was with me, and everyone's like, oh, then he must have been doing normal, not non-crimes.
So that's an easy. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of the Mila one more, as that ties into more recently of like, in my head, Quinn has gotten back from college, and like when he's not around his family, he is very much like just kind of falling apart, and there's a lot of like, oh, I'm going over to hang out with Dubs, and then instead is like going to a weird like
drinking.
Yeah, it's like going drinking with a bunch of people he never really knew before, and Mila's kind of like keeping an eye out for him so this, he doesn't manage to totally wreck his life, which we'll see how long her patience will last.
You're welcome, buddy.
Cool. And
okay, then you can just write down +1 for
yes.
Leia. Then Mila, your bonds.
So how? I'll do that one second because that one might cause controversy. The first one is with Quinn. I've always looked up to him because he always had a lot of friends. He always seemed happy and like he didn't have a care in the world, and everything just kind of went his way. You know what I mean? Like obviously everyone has ups and downs, but everything it seemed that he was more happy than not.
Yeah.
And as someone who is usually alone and kind of figuring things out as they go, she's doing fine. She's not in any, like, you know, financial or any trouble or anything, but, like, it's a lot of effort to be where she is. And it just, Quinn makes everything look so effortless, even though she knows he puts the time in.
Okay. I kind of like that.
And Leia, how close are your parents? Do they have a good, healthy relationship, you think?
I think as far as Leia is aware, but I imagine they're probably the kind of people who would keep any trouble very quiet.
I feel like she probably heard something.
Did have any trouble?
Yeah, maybe she heard something where she worked. The last time you talked to her, you lied to protect them. She was being weird around you, and she lied why she was being weird. And it's a +1 or -1 depending on how I feel about it now. I've heard that anything that was happening before is not happening anymore, and they're happy together now. So she's glad she didn't tell you, because maybe it would have affected you leaving and having fun on your trips and stuff.
Right.
So I'm going to do that as a +1. Is that okay?
Earlier today.
Yeah, that's up to you.
And I just
No.
had this temporary
I think we've got some technical
little
problems.
thing, and it keeps cutting out. It was working just fine, and then all of a sudden it started cutting out.
Can you hear us now?
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to get some headphones. Just give me a second.
But those are my two. I'm gonna put those on my sheet in the thing, so I have it saved somewhere. Under my background sheet that we have.
Yeah. Oh, quick side information for you folks in chat. Your stats are also defined by the background that you choose. And they range from -1 to +1. What did I write?
-2, +1 to -2, I think.
Yeah, I just wrote the game. Don't expect me to know.
If you wrote the game and then you closed all the mental tabs. It's
Yeah,
like, right, it's finished. I don't need to have it in here anymore. I've written it all down.
basically, yeah, but that is where you get your stats from. I have a question. So we were done with bonds, or did I miss
Dubs
any?
gone?
Oh, Dubs, sorry. Right.
You
it was
said
the
one
business-
ears.
The business.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, specifically it says you and blank dreamed about running your own business in Woodlake, but then they left.
Mm-hmm. So,
When?
what was it? What kind of business were you going?
Well, if he went in for some mechanical engineering, so to say, maybe he was going to learn a better way to deal with the logging around here or something, whereas I was going to get some on-job training. So it's almost like that was maybe my one thing to see us maybe getting out was let's come back and do a contract thing and just start wrecking. But if he drops out, that's going to throw a wrench into those gears, and it's going to probably create some animosity. I don't know if maybe Dubs doesn't know that you've dropped out yet.
I think,
Yeah.
well, my bond kind of explicitly says,
Okay.
I told you. And
Okay,
you were
that's true.
like, yeah, but Dubs knows that you dropped out and they don't approve.
That's right. And that is why I don't approve, because it's like, son of a bee, you were going to, supposed
Yeah.
to.
I came back and immediately tested your I don't swear anymore.
I was gonna say, I'm curious to see how long you remember, because I would totally forget.
And my other bond, I am convinced that Mila is taking drugs. He says, what did you see that made you believe that? And I put in, just look at her. So,
Oh my god.
The best part is
So puritanical.
the best part is she's not.
Huh?
She just
It's like-
caffeine's a drug, I guess.
I was like, which one? Which at first it was going to be Quinn, because Quinn came back super like emaciated looking. But then I thought, well, I like this other thing better for Quinn. But the drug thing, maybe Mila. And he's just like convinced that like he's staging an intervention, but there's no need for it. It's okay, Mila. I just know it's the drugs.
Are cookies gonna be there? Are they gonna be in snacks?
Leia's
She'll play
got-
along if there's snacks.
Yes, no, I will definitely address this problematic behavior. Now, please pass me the macadamia nut cookies.
Yeah.
I just did like a whole line of cocaine. So give me like a lot of macadamia nut cookies just to.
Mhm.
Right.
I've really got the munchies right now.
If you bring snacks over once a week, I'll quit because I'm gonna need to taper off and it's gonna suck. So maybe you should bring me snacks every week.
It's like,
I was gonna
cocaine
say
today.
since the two of you meet every week to be bitter about your whole life situation, staging an intervention could have almost become something like a running gag at this point.
Oh, there you go.
You're like, does the coffee help? And she's like, with what? Like for weeks she doesn't know what you're talking about. Like before you say anything.
That's the pamphlet.
Does it help the cravings? The caffeine cravings? Yeah. It's
I mean,
caffeine.
you could be. It would be funny if you were still at that stage where he's still just
Doesn't know. That I know.
He's hinting at things, but he hasn't said it. Just be straight up with you and say what it is he thinks. But you're probably having a good idea at this point.
That's funny. I like that.
But yeah. The real killer in Woodlake is addiction.
Too real.
And becoming an adult and capitalism and okay, too much, too real, too soon.
I'm far more comfortable with the idea of playing a game about scary monsters, but let's just not mention opioids.
The real monsters are us.
So I have a question for the whole group. Since you're all kind of dissimilar, different, I mean, in a way, why? So you've known each other for a long, long time, and a couple of you even since kindergarten. Why have you stuck together over all those years?
We killed a man once. No, I'm just kidding. This is I know what you did last summer.
Maybe our parents knew each other. Like our parents were friendly with each other. Like we met, when we were all very young.
I think definitely Quinn has done some in the last 3 months when they've been pretending to still be at college to most people they know, has suddenly gone from you didn't hear from them for a whole time they were away, and now suddenly they're messaging every other day being like, hey, how's it going, what's happening, because they're sitting in their room bored as shit. So Quinn has probably gotten back in touch quite actively with everybody.
But I meant sort of throughout the years. I think especially during high school.
I like to think maybe it was chance. Maybe there was a time that we were all going through rough things, or maybe Leia was doing things she shouldn't be doing, even that chaining yourself to trees, you get in trouble with school, and Quinn is a goofy jokester, so maybe he was talking in class type stuff, and Mila just doesn't care. And maybe we're all in detention, and that's how we met. Maybe Leia and I weren't friends since kindergarten. We were friends up until middle school, and then we weren't until high school, and that happened. And maybe Dubs was sleeping in class because he works late shifts or early shifts or whatever. So maybe it was
and then Quinn maybe was one day a tad too annoying with all of his jokes, taking it a little bit too far.
Oh yeah, I think that's a pretty regular thing for Quinn.
So maybe it was just kind of maybe sometimes we'd all show up at the same coffee shop and we're like, oh, well, we've hung out in detention. Well, and it just kind of grew from there. And it was even if we didn't see each other every day, we'd all text in our group thing and
Yeah, I totally have a group chat.
And we all beat up a child-eating clown monster, and it just formed a real good bond.
We all float down here, Georgie.
I'll do it, Georgie.
And so it was, would you say it was kind of all of you had off and on again the different groups that they were with, but then you always fell back or came back to this group knowing that you would have people who would listen to you and maybe make fun of you, but only in a loving kind of way.
Yeah, maybe we're all each other's support system whenever our other groups of friends didn't really get it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely. And you said you spoke of a coffee shop. So as you players already know, the where we will open the game for today is at the youth center. And of these youth.
These youths.
These youths.
Just gotta get through to these teens.
Because one thing I wanted to ask, we might as well do it now. What would be a place, so whenever you needed your buddy system, someone who actually would listen, where did you meet? Because it doesn't have to be youth center. It can be if you
Totally
want
the
to.
coffee shop.
Coffee shop.
There might be a little public though. Is there can we, maybe outside the public or the coffee shop, like in the back or something?
You know, I don't know. I used to hang out at this old coffee shop, and it was quite large, and it had sort of like a lot of nice dark little corners. You could quietly have conversations there.
I mean, how about this? Maybe it's a privately owned coffee place, and about, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years ago, the first big coffee place chain came to Woodlake, and all of the cool kids are going there, you know, to the brand chain, and then it's mostly old people who still go to that other cafe.
You mean Dubs?
Importance.
Sorry, that took a second.
So I'm just 20 years old.
So wait,
But
when you're going to the cafe to be bitter, what are you drinking? Like, are you having schnapps or egg liqueur?
What?
Oh wait, no, you're not even out of
What?
age.
What?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we're not of age, so.
What's this new cold brew thing?
Yeah, we were just
Coffee, black, like my soul.
That's why she's always shaking, and that's why Dubs thinks she's on drugs.
She's not on drugs. She's just like really
Caffeine high.
mad for ordering a quadruple espresso.
Really committed to the aesthetic.
Yeah. There you go.
So tell me more about that coffee shop. So it's definitely not the most modern. It's definitely outdated. But yeah, tell me more.
It's in an old Victorian house. It's a restored Victorian house.
Ooh.
So there's like, and there's like books and board games and stuff. You can sit and read, and you know, it's not designed. It's designed like it's meant to keep you there. You're meant to spend quite a bit of time there.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas coffee shops these days are more get in, buy something, get out. This place wants you to hang around.
Like, and I feel like they wouldn't have like the Wi-Fi password on like the sign out front. Like they're like, don't bring your laptop and work here unless you're alone. You know what I mean? Like, if you're coming with a group of people, don't be on your phones the whole time. Like, that's not that. You know what I mean? It's that generational thing.
Is it the kind of place where somebody's put up that sign with the "We don't have Wi-Fi here. Pretend like it's 1975 and talk to each other"?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay, does the coffee cost 50 cents? Can I smoke?
And yes, you can.
Fair.
Yeah, like maybe there's like a smoking patio back, and you know, it's very old school. Maybe run by someone very old. So
Yeah, I was gonna ask who's running that place.
probably the same person been running it.
Can it be like a crazy witch-looking lady? Who's like, she always has like, oh, here, enjoy your coffee while you can. Like, she's just foreboding things that she doesn't think are foreboding, but she's a sweet little lady.
She's wearing lots of crystals.
Yeah, she's like, you need, let me just check your aura real quick as you're standing there, and you're like, not today, I have to quickly get to work.
And the tea section looks like an alchemist's shelf, like, you know, it's all these like glass jars with like mysterious herbs.
Is it Dub's grandma?
Oh, yes. Grandma, why does this cauldron have a Keurig sticker on it?
Oh, your aura is terrible today. Let me sage the shit out of that.
No, Grandma, quit trying to put weird shit in my coffee. I mean, crap, stuff. Oh no, I swore already. That's why I don't swear, because I'm around my creepy grandmother. And she'll get mad.
because grandma was
Because she beats you with her incense bag whenever you curse.
She's got like a medicine bag around her neck.
Grandma, why is there a broom in your parking space? What's going on?
Yeah, she has yeah, I would say then at least with every moon cycle, she prepares a new spell bag that she then wears around her.
She's brewing like double espresso, double.
There you go. All of the coffees have like, yeah, I'll take a half moon blood sacrifice, and you want anything? No? Okay.
Yes.
And then please tell me that she also does
tarot readings. Yeah.
Yeah, tarot reading, but also with the coffee grounds. You know, if it's a really strong brew and you have, you know, just like in Harry Potter, I see the grim.
Yeah.
So kind of tea leaf reading, but with coffee.
Oh, that's true. They had tea leaf, right? They wouldn't.
Well, she can do both.
Mm.
She can do both.
Yeah, no, she's moving with the times. It's like updated from tea leaves to.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of beaded curtains that I just get lost in. Like, God, what is?
Yeah, every door.
It's 4 feet of beaded curtains.
Well, and you've seen Victorian houses, right? They have tons of doorways. So it's just like curtain after curtain,
God.
after curtain after curtain.
Okay, what is Dubs' grandmother's name?
Her name is.
Oh, I mean, honestly, you could just name her Petra, because that could totally be me in like 34 years.
The more we talk about this lady, the more I want to grow up to be this lady. I mean,
can we call her Hextra?
Hextra.
Grandma
maybe
Hextra.
Maybe
that's her nickname.
Yeah. Nickname.
Yeah, Grandma Hexy.
Hey, Granny. Hey, Grandma. How's not this weird crack that you still do? Still okay. Like he is not like, it's one of those things where my friends love her. She embarrasses me so much. So it's one of those. That's gonna be your grandma.
It's going to be a pleasure to play her.
I'm so excited. You know what? We're not playing the game anymore. Let's just talk to Petra as an old lady grandma. This is it.
I'm gonna hang out in the coffee shop the whole time.
And thus, a new role-playing game was born, just all about teenagers coming into my coffee shop and having their futures foretold and stuff like that. Okay, so I said we start our game at the Woodlake Youth Center, and it was renovated for at least half a year. It took much longer than they anticipated, because they ran out of money halfway through, and then a few months back, an anonymous donor gave money to just help them the last stretch of the renovations and to modernize everything. It was a really rundown building with super old, laminate from, I don't know, the 70s or whatnot. Probably asbestos somewhere in there, and lead paint and stuff like that, and super old couches, and so they finally done with it, and they will reopen it, and they have this 2-day big celebration. It starts on Friday afternoon, and it will be, so during the day it will be more of a family friendly event, and then towards the evening it's more catered towards the youth. The
youngins.
The whippersnappers.
Whippersnappers, yeah.
They're snapping chatters.
Oh, Extra has to go home now. Okay. So my first question to all of you would be, why would you go there? What kind of role did the youth center play for you in the past?
I'll say that Dubs helped clear some of the land for the new renovation and stuff. Like, that was part of his contract deal, and so he's just been like, "Hey, this youth center thing is finally, we're getting it done, folks. We're getting it done slowly, and now it's done. We can go somewhere that's not Granny's. We can leave her alone. She's so old.
But I always like seeing my
she's here."
No, I'm not.
I think. I mean, I think Quinn's current attachment to the place is that, like, he doesn't really know where to spend his time at the moment. Of just like, I don't want to be at home, because then I have to keep up the string of conversation with like faked stories of college life. So it's like spent a lot of time hiding in this youth center from his
But for how
actual.
long have you been away? Because it was under renovation for like 6 months or so.
Yeah, I mean, I presume I've been back. I think like 2 months. I want to say.
Hmm.
And it's just it's become his kind of hiding spot slash probably some of his friends spend their time there so he can see them. But it's like my parents won't follow me to the youth center. That sounds like a great idea.
Alrighty, what about the others? Did you spend time there in the past?
What was this before? It was a youth center. They just redid it
Yeah.
because of all the.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just really run down. It's always had like after school programs and different clubs and sort of workshops to help people making sort of like they work together closely with Woodlake High to help students make decisions about what you want to do when you after you graduate, and um, they also have stuff like helping homeless kids and whatnot, and probably also um, like counseling a little bit,
if,
things
if,
like
they,
that.
if they've got a lot of stuff about like uh after school stuff, but also like more further education-y type bits and bobs, I imagine Quinn and Dub spent a lot of time here working out like, okay, we want to go into business together and we might want to do something like this. What do we need to like do to get that? And this is where Dubs and Quinn like hashed out their plan for, right, you're gonna get a job here, get lots of practical experience. I'm gonna go to college and get like all the relevant qualifications and book learnings. And so like there's probably like a table with with, like if you do the memory filter with like a younger version of the two of us like hashing out a business plan.
Yeah, that's good.
That's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Leia would have volunteered there, because she would need a certain number of volunteering hours and she would have gotten like she um, worked really hard at getting a number of scholarships to assist her going to school, because while her parents aren't that badly off, they have 3 kids to send to college, so she made some effort to get as many scholarships and that sort of thing as she possibly could. So she spent a lot of time because there's a lot of scholarships for volunteering. So she would have put in loads of weekend hours at the youth center, doing all that volunteer work. And she probably would have felt bad, that she wasn't around to help with the renovations and stuff.
Well, now you get your chance.
Yeah,
I can
so
just
definitely
I throw up. I don't throw up. I'm feeling fine. I wanted to throw that out there. That would be my follow-up question. Because so they have this 2-day or day and a half long festival with stuff, and all of you guys were asked if you would sign up for something, and you can already think ahead for that. But first, I'm going to ask Mila. Did Mila spend time at the youth center in the past?
I think she did. I know that she grew up kind of taking care of her family's financials. Like, her dad would send money just to cover, like, house expenses for, like, the mortgage or, like, whatever it was for, like, that kind of stuff. But food and everything else was kind of on her. So she would go there and she would work with one of the people that could help her, like, how to budget when you're living on your own and how to, like, write checks and balance a checkbook and, like, all the practical things. So she learned a lot of that. And then she probably also in her, like, once she learned all of that and was on her own and okay, she was probably learning the stuff she is now, like free materials, whatever they would give her for courses that they would offer.
Yeah, then I would say that, well, all of you would be very well known to the person who's leading the youth center, who is someone in their past, they were a troubled teenager, with drug problems and living on the street for some time, and then rehabilitating themselves. And yeah, give me a name. What is the name of the person running the youth center? Anybody got an idea?
Pablo.
I was gonna say Chad.
How many pop collars does he have?
That's
You
why
don't-
you grinned.
Great skull structure on Chad, you know?
Yeah.
But that's because he's so gaunt because he does crack.
Oh my god.
Hey, how about this? His actual name is Pablo, but for some reason he got dubbed Chad
He's a total Chad.
a long time ago.
Is any more of a Chad, he'd share a border with Cameroon.
He's just such a Chad that nobody could. Everyone wanted to call him Chad.
The Chadliest of Chads.
He's the Chadliest.
Yeah, Mila calls him Chadley. He hates
So
it.
which one of us is on the hell site too much? God. Okay.
Oh, no,
what-
she, for sure. 'Cause she has to be out there fighting.
Yeah, you spend a lot of time with the hell site. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
What does Chad do that annoys all of you?
I think he's just too. He's one of those weightlifting guys. Just
So
won't
he's-
shut up about weightlifting and health
Yeah,
and his latest whatever whacked out supplement nonsense.
maybe he's like trying to use his, rough past to like,
Get through
push
to
a bunch
these
of
teens.
products. Yeah. Or well, he's like, oh, yeah, I used to be like that too. Juicex, or something like.
Love to run a youth center as a marketing front.
Or he was like,
Shakeology.
yeah, I did drugs until I discovered lifting. I get high at the gym.
Oh god. I imagine that would be if you're for Quinn of the I have returned and I look unhealthy, and he's like, you know what you need, my friend?
And he's like
Entirely out.
shoving
CrossFit.
supplements,
Protein bars.
protein bars, and he's like handing you weirdly colored shakes.
Here's this very specific kind of berry. It's like, what? I don't need this.
I think, is it possible that he's still kind of doing things he shouldn't be doing? Maybe not drugs, but maybe that's why Mila doesn't like him, because she gets a lot of calls about things. Do you know what I mean?
Chad?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or is he
maybe
definitely on the up and up, and maybe she just doesn't like him because she remembers having to get those calls in the past?
Oh, maybe he was a huge pain in the ass in the past when he was on drugs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
she remembers
like-
having to get extra calls and not be able to do her work because she had to actually take calls.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's
maybe
what-
she's just annoyed because it reminds her of.
Yeah, I know we can totally make that work. Because my follow-up question would be, and Mila can still hold a grudge because of all his stupid calls, or the calls that he caused. But my follow-up, or my last question about Pat would be, despite him being too annoying and trying to sell his whole, yes, I am a new man, wait my thing, story, what does he do that makes you still like him nonetheless? Maybe aside from Mila, again. You can.
Maybe she appreciates what he's trying to do, but she can't let go of the old stuff.
I mean, I think for Quinn, it certainly seems like it sounds like getting this place back up and running has been an undertaking that has required just a stupid amount of energy and effort, and probably just wasn't happening. And this guy, for all of his really annoying gym rat bro stuff, has actually managed it. It's like, okay, you did the dang thing. That's kind of admirable. That sounds like it to me.
Kept me employed for a bit, helping set it all up. So, don't bite the hand that shoves whey protein into your face.
No way.
I think Leo too would have been able to see while she was volunteering and spending time there. She would have been able to see firsthand his ability to actually get through to some kids. That he actually had skill at getting through them. And did some really valuable work with them. And she really appreciates that.
All
She's
right.
probably the least annoyed by him.
All right. Awesome. I would say we are ready to get into this. Oh, but before we do me a favor, everybody. Roll me plus mind.
I don't mind.
Girl, what that mind do? Oh. I see some weird stuff.
Alright, so I got a 9.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie got an 8.
Yep.
Rim got a 5. I'm just reading for everybody if they're not listening.
Mm-hmm.
And Finbar. I don't know why there's a bard on the screen. Sorry, Finbar.
Dubs, you didn't.
6.
Do you have a 0 for mind?
I do,
Okay.
according to the cheerleader.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Doing great.
Fantastic.
All right, then let's get into this. So the first shot that we see is the camera pans very slowly over the vast forest that hugs almost half of the town that is Woodlake, and camera goes lower in between the trees, and even though it's in the afternoon, it's quite dark in between the trees and quiet, and camera pans around. We have the first stupid jump scare when a crow suddenly flutters up. And as the camera follows the crow, you see, if you watch carefully in the background, just a vaguely humanoid shadow rushing by in the past and vanishing between the trees. And then the camera sort of pulls out of the forest and wanders across the outskirts of Woodlake. And we slowly hear the first tunes of whatever was very up high in the charts in 2015. Does anybody have an idea? I forgot to look it up.
Baby, gonna roll my window down. Da, da, da. No. That face, Mila.
Yes.
I don't know if that's Mila's face or just my face.
Both. Let's say it's playing some Rihanna for now. And
I believe 2015 was the year of Uptown Funk.
I maintain my face.
the summer jam to end all summer jams. Oh god,
true.
it was also the year of Cheerleader. Oh no.
so all of these songs they will play in line. All the good stuff that Mila really, really loves. And camera zooms in on the youth center, and you see a lot of decorations, like balloons, and there's a big banner. And all of you know that there was a big inaugural ceremony where the mayor did, cut a ribbon, and they let balloons fly into the air, and there were games for the kids. And now it's a little bit later in the afternoon, around 4 maybe. And let's start with Mila. Where do we see Mila? Did you sign up for anything to help with? Or
Absolutely not. This is her day off.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. She used to not be able to say no, so when people were like, her teachers or whatever were like trying to help her, and like, she was doing after school stuff, she'd be like, whatever, I'll just learn more, it'll be worth it later. And just kind of like suffered through it. But now that she can do that on her own time while she's working and getting paid to pretty much not do work, she's probably like just sitting in her car listening to not Uptown Funk. She's probably that person who has it turned up too loud and you can hear it with her windows up, and she's just sitting in her car waiting for everybody else. Or just kind of like mentally getting into a better headspace before going in.
Well, then, unfortunately, your quiet is disturbed as you hear a knock on your window. And
She'll roll the window down.
And you see two people standing outside. None of these friends. It's two other people that you know. Everybody knows them. Most people just call them the twins. They are the sheriff's kids, and they are fraternal twins. So they have, similar facial features and similar, very curly hair and whatnot. But otherwise, they're very different.
They're twins. They're part of the spooky stuff.
Oh, always.
So we have, and their names are Alex and Hannah.
She probably sees them because of where she works.
Yes, that would
like
make sense.
Like in passing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so yeah, they're twins, but they're very different. Alex is more tall, lanky, kind of hipster person, and Hannah is more short, stocky, and so it was Alex who knocked on your window, and they leaned down. It's like, "Hey, Mila, I thought it was you. Why aren't you coming up?" They have a not too shabby buffet inside. Like, you shouldn't wait too long. It's like a lot of it's already gone.
I'm working up to it. And she just picks up her coffee and shows them.
Okay, I get it. And what you would notice is that sort of Hannah is usually very talkative, but she's holding back, just leaning down a little bit, say hi, and you can say that she looks like she had a really, really rough night. See circles under her eyes, and looking rather pale, and she says, "Oh, is that coffee? I should get a coffee myself."
She'll take the one that she got for Dubs, because she usually grabs him a little coffee if he has to go to work, and she'll give it to him.
Okay, so when Hannah reaches, she reaches over to take the coffee mug, you notice that her hand is actually shaking a little bit as she takes mug, and she says, "Oh, thank you. I really needed that." And then Alex just buries their hands in their jeans pockets, and says, "Well, if you've gotten to the point where you think you're ready to to deal with people, you know where to find us. I'm definitely gonna checking out the buffet."
She'll grab her like crappy ripped backpack that she's had forever, and throw it on and hop out of her truck, and just kind of, I should probably follow you guys in. I'll just be a minute. I want to finish my coffee. And she'll look over and just be like, "Are you okay? You're a little shaky."
And she goes, "Yeah, thanks. I just didn't really sleep well. It's just, help with preparation and whatnot." And then she starts walking in, and then Alex gives you a look, and sort of shrugging, and then sort of mouthing to you, "I don't know what's going on with her today. Maybe boyfriend stuff. I don't know." And then he turns around. They turn around and follow their sister side. And so we see Mila. So you said you get out of your car, but you're still stealing yourself.
She's doing that thing where, like, you have to go into school or something, like work or something, and you just walk like very slowly, and you look like you're probably not even walking. And she's just drinking her coffee.
Okay, wonderful. Then we switch scenes. Let's go over to Dubs. Where is Dubs?
I suppose Dubs is sitting on a fold-out table with a trifold little cardboard display thing behind him. So it's with a little construction paper sign, words that say, "A career in logging," as he's been stuck having to work like a career fair kind of thing for the login company.
Oh, I bet Oggins, they probably also donated a little bit of money for the renovation.
Oh yeah, they're definitely involved. He's having to do the whole, shake hands, do that kind of thing. But he looks like he just does not care. Like it's like, boss, this is not what I'm good at. My buddy, who I will not speak his name, who was supposed to go off to college and learn all this, he would have been great for that. Not me. I'm just a grunt. And then he's stuck. He got the short straw. So he's sitting there at this booth with little flyers and a little display of PPE gear, helmet, swing the axe on the log, just like a thing like that as well.
Yeah, at some point you have Chad sauntering over to you and be like, "Dubs, my man, you're selling it really hard there."
Oh yeah. That's how I work. How's it been with you, selling all you and yourself and all that stuff? You're all over Facebook, buddy.
You know me. The guy, you know me, and then he sort of nods back over his shoulder, and he does actually have a little table where he's advertising his protein shakes. And he's trying to convince the parents that there's only good things in there, nothing artificial, only with monk fruit powder, no chemical stuff and whatnot, and that really helps kids with studying and really focusing. And
Dubs is gonna kind of like take out some of the extra pieces of paper and stuff and start making like a new little extra sign to post up that says something along the lines of, wanna make money and stay in great shape without having to take any force-fed additives. Get a career. Yeah.
Get a whey-free weight loss.
That's right. Whey-free weight. At Coggins Loggins.
yeah,
Apply today, and I have a big old stack of applications. Because like this guy, I hate this man so much. I hate having a smile on his hand. I hate.
By the way, we didn't decide on what does Chad look like. Chad/Pablo. Does he?
He looks like a Chad. We all know. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, he definitely has, because of his past, he still has, he has a lot of piercings. I would say he has those gauges in the ear too.
Oh, yeah.
He's got 2 polos on. Both the collars are popped. They're 2 different colors. Yeah. His muscles are bulging out of his shirt, so it's a little tight.
Yeah, and because he's Mexican, he gets the most amazing tan. So he's
pretty dreamy.
He's always super tan, and he's always like spending a lot of, whenever he's at home, he's in his backyard with no shirt on,
or other people's yards with no shirt on.
No shirt on.
So
his part of him's kind of light because he wears like a cap all the time.
Somebody must have been watching Pablo chat for a while to know that he's constantly working in his backyard with his shirt off.
You can see a lot when you're up in a tree.
You can see a lot when you're up in a tree. She's like, I tied myself higher to the tree just so that you would know I was serious, as she's looking into the yard next door.
Yeah, totally. Yes, this is a protest thing. It's not about checking out.
Definitely.
That would be inappropriate.
Look,
back of
the
his way.
crime was purely for protest reasons. Nothing else.
It was for protein. Protest.
God. I wonder how many people have hooked up with Chad in the late hours of the evening and just like, shh, no speaking.
Do you mean drug hookups or sexual hookups? Just
The
asking for a
latter.
friend.
Oh. Like, why
I
not
mean,
both?
officially, no one. But
Exactly. No one
there's
is going to
probably-
admit to that afterwards.
there's probably a lot of rumors going around because he's not running the place on his own, right? There will be helpers, of age helpers, and
Of age. Thank you for clarifying that for stream purposes.
Okay.
so Dubs, as you are making those counter passive aggressive signs, you know, you look around and you have, from where you're sitting, you can see into sort of the hallway where the restrooms are. So you're sitting in the, I would say, on the ground floor. You have information desk, and then there's a TV lounge, and then you and all the other people who are showcasing whatever are in this big room that is usually used for events like that. And then upstairs there's Chad's office, and there are a few smaller rooms that can be used for club meetings or hanging out, whatever. And so you're sitting sort of across from the restrooms. There, you know, you go into the hallway, and right next to the men's bathroom, you notice. So if you look around, and then you look back, there is a boy, I don't know, 12 years or so, who's standing next to the door, facing the wall, not moving.
Is there like, oh god, this is one of those YouTubers planking, whatever the heck it's called. I kind of how far away is he from me, would you say?
Oh damn. Let me convert that in. Let me work with yards.
Work with yards. 3 feet to a yard.
Real people distance.
So
Real.
Nothing meter nonsense.
just
I know it's such nonsense with its simple levels of 10.
So it's like 10 meters. I think it's about 30 feet.
Yeah,
30 feet.
I grab one of the flyers, I ball it up, and hey,
if you
quit being
want,
weird.
if you want the awkward way to relate to the teens this year, 2015 was the year of the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Oh, right. Oh, on that.
Then I know what one of the big event points is. Like Chad is totally going.
Oh.
Or maybe he already did it. Like there was this. He challenged a lot of people to do the ice bucket challenge. You know, and all the moms and also some of the dads are very eager to join him.
Yeah, let's pour water on him.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
It's so cold in here.
Mila's okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
She volunteers to buy the ice. You see her just carrying extra ice.
Yeah, I wad up one of the little flyers and kind of like throw it at the kid. Like,
So you crumple it up and then throw it at him.
Hey.
He does not react.
kind of look around, like, just kind of whatever. I know the 911 lady. If something goes down, then I got her on speed dial. Then I go hop on up and, kid, hey, why are you hanging on these bathrooms being creepy? What's the deal?
And then so now that you get closer, he's somewhere between 10, 11-ish. He's wearing normal stuff. Brown, short hair. And when you stand right next to him and address him, he very slowly turns around, not fully, just sort of a 90-degree turn, and doesn't look at you, and he looks like he's very like in his own world and deep in thought, but you do hear him say something to the account of, but I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, you don't know how to stop being weird. Yeah, you and a lot of other kids around. Here's the thing. You go find your parents. Because I hate when these moms and dads just drop kids off at this place. You know, that's not what we're here for. I don't know why he's being so belligerent to this kid who's just really setting up being creepy.
As you're saying that, he sort of jumps a little bit and blinks, looks at you, looks around, looks back at you. What do you want?
Well, you're standing near the restroom, just hovering around it. It's kind of strange. Not gonna lie, you're walking around like your cheese is falling off your cracker, kid. So it's kind of tripping me out a little bit. I want to see you to scoot along.
Yeah, he
somewhere else.
He just rolls his eyes, and actually he enters the restroom, but you can hear him say as he's entering, all people are weird. And then, yeah, he goes into the restroom. And now I would like to cut to Quinn.
Hello.
Where's
Is me.
Quinn?
I imagine probably like kind of has been doing his best to avoid any responsibility and went out with somebody who was taking a cigarette break for a chat and then has stayed, like he doesn't smoke, but has stayed in the like the bit where people go to smoke outside and is chatting with whoever comes out there. And right now, like the person he was talking to has just gone back inside, and he's like, I should go back in and help somewhere, but
Actually, before you're going back in, sort of around the corner, you hear loud laughter, like roaring laughter, as if a small group of people has the time of their life.
Okay. Well, Quinn is going to do his best social butterfly moment and kind of starts wandering towards that noise.
And yeah, you see you.
Nothing. Sorry, please.
You see a group of 5, 6 people, and I would say you know some of them. Actually, Alex is there, and you know them too. Like again, it's a relatively small town. If you're the child of the sheriff, you probably end up on photos, or you know, in school goes around, oh, your dad is a sheriff, and stuff like that. So Alex is there, and a few other folks. I would say half of them you know at least somewhat. Before I'm going to describe the scene further, Quinn, please tell me what makes Alex a particularly attractive person in your eyes?
Alex is about our age, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe a year younger.
Okay. I was about to say something about a police uniform, but that feels a little inappropriate.
I think you should go with your gut.
Like, I mean, Quinn has a thing for costumes.
I mean, I did imagine them to be the eccentric one of the twins. So please run away with it.
Maybe on Halloween one time.
Yeah, I imagine like Alex is like as kid of the sheriff might have had a little bit of like there's some pressure to like be relatively normative, and he just does that very well. And it's like, oh, he's just kind of classically really handsome, actually. Oh no, this very handsome boy. Has he been in town like the whole time, or did he also do like is he back from on holiday from college as well?
Yeah. So wait, you are 20. He's like 19. Yeah, I would say like Leia. He's a freshman, and so this is his first summer break since
yeah.
starting college.
So I imagine like the last time I saw Alex, they were like, their dad is a community role model, and they've got to live up to that and stuff. And they went away to college, and they've done the opposite thing to Quinn, which is they found themselves a bit. and like started, and like they're very much more comfortable in that, and it was like, oh, you were already kind of cute, and now you are cute and confident, and oh no.
Oh no.
What a weakness.
What a dangerous combination.
You shouldn't be allowed to do that. Like picked up some like watched like if I'd it's too early for there to have been a season of Queer Eye where he picked up some grooming tips. Like, oh no. Doesn't have just like that terrible
I see
terrible
Quinn
bump
walk
off feeling.
around. I see Quinn walk around the corner, just immediately taking the new exit. Oh damn! Turn around and no,
like,
come on!
Oh, okay, no, I'm fine. I can handle this.
All right, and so
yeah.
here.
So I think it's just it's like he used to be cute, but like blissfully unaware and not able to. There wasn't really any. Lacked the confidence that came with, and now he's like, oh yeah, no, now he's like come into who he is a bit more, and it's like, oh shit.
And so here's what's going on. This group, they're occupying one of the sort of on one side of the youth center. There's some picnic tables, and so they're holding one of those. And apparently somebody had the idea to make a makeshift Ouija board or witch board. You know, somebody just took a piece of cardboard, and probably from a cell phone picture, they drew everything on there. And for some reason, they have a real planchette, actually, not just a random piece of something. And so a couple of the people still have their fingers on the planchette, but all of them are laughing, and you can see that Alex is actually laughing tears. And you hear him say something like, "Are you fucking kidding me? I can't believe it! Like, it was one of you, wasn't it?"
I walk over and kind of loudly jump over the top of this. Did it tell everyone you're really into feet, Alex? And like try to really awkwardly slide my way into this little group conversation by calling him out in front of all his friends. I'm really good at flirting.
It does have I don't know if it is the desired effect, but for a moment everybody stops in their tracks and looks at you, and then the people who know you, it's like, "Hey Quinn, good to have you back." And Alex just looks at you, and then sort of it takes a moment because he was so focused on what they were doing. Then your comment registers with him, and he said, "Come on, Quinn. I told you not to tell anybody else. Seriously, dude." And
I'm
then
just
one of the girls who's like, she is like, "Oh, come on, Alex, as if we didn't already know."
I've outed this man in front of all his friends. I feel bad now. But yeah, like, I think I will kind of wonder. I was like, you're trying to speak to ghosts over here?
Yeah, and so the one girl who made the comment, the last comment to Alex, she's like, "Well, yeah, we're trying to, but I'm pretty sure Alex is fucking with us or somebody else here, because the board is telling us of Adam and Eve. So I don't. So basically, we asked who is there.
Have y'all been spending too much time at Sunday school? Ghost boards don't tell you about the Bible, people. That's not. One of you's not doing this well.
And then Alex chimes in and says, "I don't know. I mean, if it's a ghost, it could be a Christian ghost. Not the Holy Ghost, obviously, but it could be the ghost of someone who was a devout Christian. But no, seriously, it spelled out Adam, and it spelled out Eve, and then one of the other guys says, no, actually, it said Eva, like, I think that's how you spell it, like that's a European version or something." Yeah, and then Alex looks at you and says, "You want to join us? I think we're not quite done yet."
Yeah, and Quinn kind of goes, "All right," and shuffle along, and I'll like whoosh, I'll kind of like sit next to Alex on like a bit of bench that is clearly not wide enough for me to actually sit there, and then like whoosh them along till I'm having to sit way too close to him. Again, flirting according to Quinn. And say, what questions have we got left to ask, or is that? And I'll put a hand out towards the planchette to like join in.
Well, we didn't get any answers after we just asked, who's there. So we got Adam and Eve or Eva, and then, and then the girl child says, I heard you're not supposed to ask them how they died, so we're not gonna do that. And so my next question, and she says loudly, Adam and Eve, and the others start already pissing themselves with laughter again. By the way, you do get the idea, even though the whole thing is supposed to be an alcohol-free zone, that somebody managed to sneak something into, or put something into the drinks.
Okay, yeah. There's a Willy Ladner of red solo cups disappearing for a little bit.
Yes. Dear Adam and Eve, if you're still around, what else would no? It has to be a simple question. Quinn, do you have an idea?
What would I want to ask these ghosts? And I'm not supposed, and I like. Am I an ass? I think I'm a bit of an ass. Make direct eye contact with the person who said we're not supposed to ask how they died, and be like, well, we can't say that exactly. Why are you still here?
And this one girl who said, we're supposed to not ask them, she does actually looks a little bit concerned. Great. If we conjure this, have you heard of Yozozo? I'm not. And then as you all put your fingers on there, you wait for a moment, like half a minute, nothing happens, and nervous chuckling and whatnot, and one of the others actually gets up and leaves.
Yeah, I think.
But then
No, I was gonna be about to make a ridiculously. If the wait goes a really long time, Quinn will make like a "oh no, I'm being possessed" type joke. But if something actually starts happening, that's more interesting.
I mean, half a minute is quite a long time. So I can see you. Let's say you make.
Yeah, so I guess like somebody's like, "oh, this is ridiculous," and takes their hand off, and at that exact moment, Quinn's like grabs their own elbow. It's like, "ah, I'm being possessed," and like starts like slapping himself in the face.
As you do that,
why are you hitting yourself?
As you do that, you do actually notice that Alex next to you jumps just a tiny bit. Dude, I was really focused on that. And so as you put your fingers back on, at some point the planchette actually starts moving, and you definitely get a feel that Alex is pushing it. And so it does end up on several letters, but it doesn't make sense. It goes to R, T, N, F, and L. And then it stops.
I have made a note of mysterious 4 letters. I go.
And Alex leans back and is like, well, that was a disappointment. We're done here. So anyway, Quinn, how have you been? And that is where we cut to Leia.
She would be volunteering. So she'd probably be in the kitchen, helping out, and just anywhere and everywhere they need an extra pair of hands, she's there. So
yeah, I mean, there's
all over the place.
Yeah, we could say that your sort of Chad's wing woman, sort of doing the odd jobs. Oh, can you make sure that they're ready, that the kitchen is ready with blah blah blah, or oh, the band, they want to do the sound check soon, and can you please give them the keys to blah blah. So you're just being.
Oh yeah, she's just running all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of energy.
Yeah. And then at some point, you run into sort of a couple of people you haven't seen in a while. Who? Maybe let's make up a person who, when you graduated, sort of in your last courses, who was someone you had a lot of courses with and just made a lot of friendly banter with,
Natalia.
Nicolia?
Natalia.
Oh, Natalia. Okay.
Yeah. So I run into her, and we start talking about college and,
Mm-hmm.
up to.
Yeah, and so she looks at you, and I assume you're wearing one of your activist T-shirts.
Oh yeah, it's like from whatever her latest charity thing is. That's whatever she's wearing.
Yeah. So she looks you up and down, but not in an unfriendly way, and she says, "Oh man, I'm kind of glad to see that not everybody does a 180 when they're going off to college. I've seen so many people from our year, and they're so like they're completely different people. I'm glad to see that someone is sticking to their thing."
Well, when I went to college, I really just learned how to be me, but better. So, honestly, I don't know why. I don't really know why you would change, but I guess maybe if you don't really know yourself very well.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like you and Quinn, you're Tyne, right? Have you seen him yet? Like he's so skinny.
Really? Oh, I should go and I mean, I've chatted with him, but I haven't seen him.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, dude, that can't be healthy.
Oh, that's too bad. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, let's do something. I'm gonna have to.
And at some point, as you're chatting away, and you get a break from being sent around like a headless chicken. For a moment, you begin to feel a little bit dizzy,
Okay.
and you wonder, sort of head dizzy, kind of, and maybe you wonder, okay, maybe I haven't had enough water, and
Yeah, she'll go. She starts feeling a bit dizzy. She'll excuse herself, go to the kitchen, have a glass of water, eat a couple of pieces of fruit or something.
As you're excusing yourself and turning around to do that, you hear Natalia say, with a very flat, monotone voice, "Do you think you're really making a difference?"
And she turns around and looks back, and she's like, "Well."
And you see her changed. Not changed visibly. Like she's still your friend, but she looks very rigid, and her eyes are very, very intense, as if they, her eyes are piercing, and for a moment you could swear that they're taking on a more goldenish hue, but she just stares at you, not saying anything, waiting for an answer.
Well, the whole point is to just do your best to try.
But the best isn't enough. If you have to get somewhere, you really have to put your soul into it, don't you know? And then you feel the same dizziness again, and you blink.
Oh.
And then Natalia is like, "Hey, what's going on? You okay? Man, Chad is really just sending you all over. You should really. Are you okay?
I'm kind of dizzy. I think I need like some water or something.
Yeah, and actually, Leia, I would like for you to roll Witness the Uncanny.
Okay. What do I roll for that?
So it's a straight up 2d6. Or actually, I can read it real quick. So whenever you're confronted with a supernatural, something you cannot rationally explain away, or actually, I would give you, before you roll, I would give you a chance. Do you think that Leia can rationalize this away?
That's pretty out of character for this person. But she's a pretty rational person, so she would probably just chalk it up to combination of weird behavior and the fact that she's not feeling well, so she probably just misinterpreted Natalia as being more serious.
Okay, then give you a rest for now, because there will be stuff that's more in all of your faces.
Yeah.
Later. So you said you wanted to go get something to drink, and I would say, Mila, as you are on your way inside, you see Quinn and Alex coming around the corner, sort of walking towards the entrance of the youth center.
I would be on my way towards Dubs to tell him that I did not bring him coffee.
Okay.
Probably. I'd probably be heading that general direction. If that's near where Quinn is, then This is the first time I've seen him, I'm assuming. We've all texted, but we were going to meet here.
Yeah, I would say we're only a few weeks into summer break, so this could be very well be the first time you've actually seen each other in a while. But yeah, let's say that you go. Let's do it like this. You go to Dubs. I'm gonna bring Leia and Quinn together in a taxi.
Okay. Yeah, she'll probably walk up and just puts her bag on his table, and she probably brought him like some kind of a snack or something because she was at the coffee place, whatever he usually gets. She'll probably throw it on the table and pull her bag, put it back on, and just. Alex was the one that was acting weird, right? Or was it
Hannah?
Hannah.
That was Hannah.
Hannah.
Alex is the one that Quinn is flirting with.
Hannah was being really weird.
Hello, ma'am. Would you like to pursue a career as an arborist?
Yeah, I would not.
As I jokingly shove a application towards her.
She'll just gently shove it and put it against his chest, and if there's a piece of tape, she'll tape it to him.
Okay. So, Hannah, is that the short, chunky, or tall, scrawny? Which one was that again? It's the twin, right?
Is that how you describe trees? Short and stumpy?
No. Well, when I'm done with them, they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Though she was just being weird, a little shaky. But I haven't seen Leia or Quinn yet. Leia or Quinn.
I don't know. They're probably around here somewhere. Leia's probably with Chad. Granted, I have seen Chad, and did see her with him at that time. But I see one cup of coffee, and it's in your hand. So what's the deal?
You're gonna make me do this, aren't you?
It's a choice, but it's a choice that I'm nudging you in a certain direction.
She takes a deep breath and hands him her coffee.
Oh my good, Amelia, you're so kind. You were like the nicest person in the whole world. So giving, so fantastic that you would partake, or bestow upon me this coffee. As a matter of fact, you can even have a seat. I might let you sit here behind this table with me, and I shove a chair out.
Is it made of wood or plastic?
Plastic.
I don't know which is killing the earth more, but I like it. And she goes over and sits down. And takes another snack out from her bag and just kind of, as people walk by, she'll be like, "Hey, you want a job? Hey, you want a job?
Yes. Hey," I kind of like...
"Would you like to murder trees for a living?"
Mila.
Yeah,
There's an art to this, but
I know.
I don't really care. I like you do too. So let's go with it. Let's make a competition. See if you can get the most people to sign up.
Would you like to commit arbicide?
With that, Dubs will spew coffee out as he takes a sip, and it's going to go all over the job applications.
See, you could kill trees and then waste them.
Fudge. God's not to swear.
Okay, wonderful. Let's cut over to Quinn. I would say you're on. Eventually, you make your way inside. Do you think Alex is with you, or did you stay behind?
I think Quinn has poked and prodded there enough to have gone like, I'm gonna leave y'all to have some space for a bit. And I think probably like checked his phone and went, oh shit, I'm late. And is like kind of rushing back indoors.
Mm-hmm.
Is probably the honest answer.
Yeah. As you walk past the kitchen, you would then see Leia, who is filling a glass with water.
She's looking a little pale and thin.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Leia, how you doing? Also, is there any good biscuits left?
Oh yeah, hi.
Hey.
I haven't seen you in ages. Come here.
It's been a minute.
I shall go and give her a hug. Give him a hug.
Yeah. Cute reuniting hug.
Yeah.
And it's like, you all right? You seem a little shaky there. Everything good?
I don't know. I felt fine, but I just had this dizzy spell. It's really weird.
Sounds like you are working too hard and should take a page from my book of doing nothing. It's far easier.
I think you're kind of right. I think I do need a bit of a break.
When I have never not been right in my entire life, it's known. And I like grab a glass out of the cupboard and like probably pour myself something and a glass of water as well. So, you seen the others yet?
No, I've been so busy. I just ran into Natalia from history class and
I think I remember the one.
And then I just got all busy. But mostly I've been running around a lot.
Fair. Well, that's what happens when you let Chad actually ask you to do things.
Did I hear my name?
Oh God, no.
Chad, looking into the kitchen. Mr. Forrester, so good to see you back.
Always a pleasure to see you, Chad.
And he gives like a weird wannabe cool handshake that probably completely backfires.
Goes for like a weird fist bump thing, and I'm like a step behind at each point. Like, oh, okay.
Gotta keep up, Quinn. Gotta keep up.
One of these days, I'll get on your level.
I mean, yeah, and so what he does is he leans. I don't know what are you wearing?
I imagine just like some probably just like some bright green like t-shirt with some like some pattern on it that was something kind of cool-ish like 4 years ago, but Quinn hasn't changed size. Well, he's gotten a little taller, he's also gotten skinnier, so it still kind of fits and just seems really anachronistic today. Yeah, and just that and a pair of jeans. It's like,
all right, so Chad reaches back into his pocket and he pulls out one of those protein bars, and he leans forward and slips it into the breast pocket of your shirt, and you can see that that protein bar has been in there for a little bit. It's a little bit smooshed.
It's lovely and warm and
it's also warm. And he says, Leia, I was looking for you. So
yeah,
the band would actually like to so they're in the garage right now. They're getting ready, and they want to do the sound check. And
I'm gonna
boy,
have
these pseudo musicians, these unprofessional music. What's the word I'm looking for? Hobbyist musicians. That's what I'm looking for. They're quite high maintenance. They wanted to have sparkling water, and then but one of them wants to have still water so that he doesn't belch when he's on stage. And actually, Quinn and Leia, and maybe get somebody else, because I think these people are really needy. But I paid a lot of money for them. They're, somebody told me they're an up and coming band.
Okay.
From the big town over, so I think we should try and keep them happy. Maybe find a few more people and just go to the garage and see.
Okay. It's not a problem, Chad. Don't worry about it.
I'd love to look after 4 oversized egos in my afternoons. We'll do it, Chad. We're the people for the job.
That's my man.
And yeah, so Leia's trying really hard not to look at Chad's very, very, very nice pecs at the moment, and she's just gonna go start grabbing some bottles of water, things like that. Getting them ready, and then
I think if we're leaving if we're leaving Chad behind, it's like, my God, he'd be just perfect if he never opened his mouth.
I know, right?
So since
it's illegal to be that pretty.
I know, it's not fair. It's like he took all of the hotness of all of the guys almost all the guys in town, and it's all used up in one guy.
I'm trying to think of a good whey pun for what the flavor of this protein bar is that he handed me, but I can't get anything.
Are you weighing your options?
Oh, okay, that hurt. Oh.
Must be a great weight on you.
Best
Is it on your wavelength?
All right. Well, I'm gonna redact that from my own brain. And Quinn off.
Quinn, have you ran into anybody else?
I haven't found them yet, but I'm pretty sure I saw Dubs over by the login people career stand thing.
Great. So, yeah, let's go grab him.
If we go grab him, he's like, I think Quinn fumbles one of the bottles he was asked to carry. It's like, he's good at the carrying things part of this, so yeah, let's grab him. And let's go find our friends.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, it won't take you long. I mean, you know where.
Yeah.
Everything
so wander
is
around.
Career section. And so from afar, you see Mila and Dubs sitting next to each other. Dubs trying his best, sipping a coffee, in a professional way to persuade people to come working at. How do you forget the name?
Coggins Loggins.
And Mila just with her deadpan.
She's drawing dead trees coming back to life as zombie people. She just has chalk all over her face and charcoal, and she's just doing sketches and propping them up behind him where he can't see.
In the middle, you can even sign up at our website. Don't forget to log in at Coggins Logins.
No. Got your login at
Login at Coggins Logins.
Yikes.
Coggins.
I bet since you probably don't have the latest, or since that company probably doesn't have money to hire the best texters out there or copy editors, that's probably the official slogan. Logins at
It's an Angel Fire page.
Yeah. Somebody built it in 1997, and it just hasn't been updated since. Still has all the spinning gifs.
Some Web 2.0 shit.
It links to their Zanga page.
Yep. Or Homestead.
Oh man, I remember when the internet used to look like that.
GeoCities. Our computer is literally a wooden computer. It's
Yikes.
Yeah, you easily enough find each other.
Yeah.
hello, you two. Would you like to apply for a job and make successful money? As I dart eyes at Quinn.
And of course, I have no idea that this has gone
yeah.
on between you guys. So I'm just like, hi, and I'm like super happy and friendly and hugging everybody and just, being really excited to see everybody. And
Yeah, I like dump the bottle these bottles I was carrying down on the table, and it's
covered in shit.
does it come with a car? God, I'm unfit.
Well, what's what are you peddling for the big tan fella today? As I look among all this weird stuff everyone's toting around.
It's got some.
Water?
There's like some water bottles, some other weird stuff in their rider. I think we're just carrying all manner of like supply level, supply like quantities of stuff over to the garage.
yeah, we're helping out the band. You guys look like you could need a break. So come on.
And for your break, we have brought you the fun opportunity to do more unpaid work. Woo! Bow, 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 bow.
I pick up one of the water bottles and look at it and it's like, does this thing really say H2 bro? And I just
Oh
put
boy.
it away. Oh boy, I know. I'm picking low hanging fruits from this tree. I'm gonna cut it down.
Time
I
to
get,
put
like,
him in a juicer.
My duffel bag out. Yeah, you know what? This all sucks. As I take down my little stand.
Not finding many people wanting to become a lumberjack.
Oh, it's not like people don't already know this is the main thing folks happen in town. It's like, hey, go tell everyone that big lumberjack is fine. You know, it's like telling people, hey, cars go on roads. I don't know.
Yeah, I get it. It does seem kind of, it's like saying, why don't you go live in a house? Like,
So what's the mission? What's going on? Why are we
our mission today is to
Here we go.
cheer up the band and make sure that they're very happy and ready to go and happy to play.
Wait, what's the name of this band?
That's a good question because I was going to say that this will definitely be advertised everywhere.
The Lucky Clovers.
Okay. Oh, these clovers. Oh, those guys. We get to hang out with the Lucky Clovers?
Yeah.
How fortunate of us. Aren't we so fortunate, Mila? Mila, we get to carry water to
Their
band people.
music literally makes me want to drown tiny animals. And I love tiny animals more than people.
Yeah.
So what kind of music do they make? First of all, I think the band name is probably their attempt at being ironic in a very bad kind of way.
Oh dear.
What kind of music do they make?
Like
Are they
folk
like-
music.
Folk Irish.
They have like accordions, and they also have bagpipes. And there's one guy in the back that plays the triangle.
But they're all from Oregon. You know, something.
They're all,
You probably haven't heard of them.
yeah, they're really artsy and like they're really avant-garde.
Yes.
Can I wear earplugs while we help them?
I have literally never heard these people's music. Am I?
You don't want to.
We're about to.
Oh, this should be fun.
Well, I don't know if they're playing right now. I mean, we just have to make sure that they're ready to play when it's time.
Do we have to be
Well-
here when they play?
No, we don't. That's okay.
Great. I'm in. The faster we do this, the faster we can leave. Right?
Right.
Sounds good.
I love to
Okay.
go fast. Let's
So I
ride, team! Quinn has notably left all of the carrying to everyone else. and
Why are
then
you s-
rushes.
Yeah, I happily carry like a ridiculous amount of things, like without even questioning or thinking about it.
Mila will help, but I think she kind of like goes a little bit quicker to catch up with Quinn. I'm happy to see that you're not carrying anything, because you might break those twig arms. What happened to you?
It's, it's been a few months. Oh, thanks for a couple nights ago, by the way. It's good to know you got my back. But yeah, don't worry, I'm fine. It's all fine.
Are you?
Are you? I mean, normally a lady talking about people's fate is pretty rude. She gives Mila a bit of a look. But
It was the freshman in 15 in reverse.
I know that we're close enough that we can talk about these things. And I do have to say I am a little concerned. You do seem very slightly underweight in a way that just makes me worry a little. Because you're my friend.
It accentuates your eating disorder.
I'm not going to go that far. But
Look, I'm entirely fine. It just turns out when you live on bad takeout pizza for a few months, it's not the healthiest diet on the planet. There's nothing wrong. Y'all should just chill.
True.
While you're talking, she shoves one of her snacks in your mouth. It's her form of trying to be helpful.
The moment that happens, you actually happen to walk past both Hannah and Alex. Hannah's still looking kind of off the way she looked before, and Alex just grinning to himself as he sees Mila shoving the snack into Quick's mouth.
She's a defeat and feeders? God. Okay. Give them a wave. We're gonna go entertain some truly brilliant new musicians if you'd like to come join us on our little carrying adventure.
Alex just grins a little wider and says, I don't think I'm quite yet ready to become a groupie, but you tell me all about it later.
You've got the look for it, my friend.
Well, what can I say?
Mila looks between the two of them, and kind of backs up to wherever Dubs is carrying pretty much everything, and just, I told you, and she kind of nudges him about her being off.
Yeah, well, dang near everybody's getting kind of weird lately with the whole. I mean, I don't know. Has she always been weird? Hasn't she always been one of those strange ones?
No.
Really? Well,
No.
I don't know, there are two Alexes running around here. I don't know which one's which.
No, just one Alex.
One Alex? I thought there were two Alexes.
No.
I don't know.
You're losing it, Dubs. You're losing it.
I'm seeing double, and I throw back.
She walks away from you and walks to go put the stuff down.
No. I grab her by the backpack and you're going to meet this van.
With what hand? You're carrying 18 things of water.
I pile it up at the end of Jungle Book with the little girl going down the river and stacking things on her head.
She's not even mad. She's impressed. She's like.
So as you walk and talk, we then cut to watching you basically being the servants to those band guys, because it turns out it's not the kind of job that you can get out of too quickly. But the good thing is that it's only about half an hour until the concert is about to start. So you have to, you're being asked to make sure everybody has a bottle of water there, and then you get to listen to their sound check, which is probably the highlight of the day, or the first highlight of the day for Mila. As they get out their accordions, and I bet one has an harmonica, and let's throw in a bass. It's kind of an alternative avant-garde.
Handle on it. Dum, dum.
Yeah, exactly. So you're very.
Mila's looks like you got everything you need. We're gonna head out. And she runs.
Yeah, we're gonna get out real quick. Because we don't want to get anyone sweaty who wants to get up here and hear you.
Yeah, you gotta do your star thing. We'll just be over that way.
Yeah, so
totally, Leia is totally sincere and, you know, trying to just help them out and taking them seriously. And,
Yeah. They're actually not. They're not too obnoxious, but they're taking their music very, very seriously. And so the band leader, whose name is Mike.
I was gonna say Sunflower. You know.
Mike Sunflower.
Yes.
I think also just like as we came in and Quinn saw the bagpipes against one stand and the accordion with another one, and like just looked at Mila and was like, oh. Right.
Mila looks over, knowing that Dubs will yell at her if it's because it's contagious, the cursing. She'll be like, get the fuck out of there. Go.
Get with this grandpa music.
Look, we need to get Lee. If we don't get Leah out, she'll offer to help, and we can't let that happen.
Actually, it's too late.
Yeah.
Because Chad already stopped by, and sort of he won't necessarily stop Mila and Dubs from sneaking out, or at least going off to the side, but he's sort of, you know, pulling Leia and Quinn in and saying, okay, you know, just 10 more minutes, or actually 8.5. Then they will go on stage, and then you're good to go. You see, the band's already there. Well, actually, where's the Sunflower guy? Hold on, but don't run off yet. Just 8 more minutes, okay?
Sure, that's not very long. Not a problem. And I'm helping and
Schmucks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We gone. We out.
And then just a minute, just less than a minute later, Chad is back. And he says to you, Leia, and to Quinn, so can you do me a favor and find that Sunflower guy? Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, he's a singer. They're supposed to start right now, and you see the other musicians have started to play, just to, you know, to warm up and to
The sound of tuning a bagpipe has started.
yeah. I had an old roommate who played bagpipes.
Oh, I imagine that was an experience.
Let me just say that I never in my life want to hear Amazing Grace played on any instrument ever.
Don't come to Georgia.
No.
Don't. Everyone's name is Grace or Gracie.
Because sounds like Amazing Grace on the bagpipes feels like the equivalent of chopsticks on the piano.
Yeah.
The one that everyone who knows even the basics knows.
The second they found out that he played bagpipes, that's what they wanted him to play.
Oh God, awful.
So as the people have started to gather, so the stage is actually outside, in front of the youth center, and the weather is playing along, and so there's a lot of people gathering outside, and the youth center is emptying out. It's completely empty, but most people are outside, also because they have like a barbecue stand outside and whatnot. So in waiting for the concert to start, most people have filed out at this point, and so as Chad hurries back to the other musicians, he expects you, Leia and Quinn, to find the Mr. Sunflower guy.
We're going on a sunflower hunt. We're going to catch a big one. No, none of you.
Let's go do it. I'm gonna put on my hunting hat, and she'll put on like a ball cap or whatever that has some charity logo on it.
Sherlock Goldman to the rescue.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
All right. Anyone see where he went? Wander off? Any of that? Chad pops a gasket.
Well, if you were a singer, where would you go
Well,
before
I
a
am
show?
looking at the rules of this game,
You would.
and there is a move to take stock. And roll with my senses to see how much detail I perceive in my surroundings, which sounds like the
Ooh.
thing I should do right now.
That's a good
Do
idea.
that.
Can I also do that?
You could help. So
Okay.
if two, instead of two people rolling the same thing, yeah, Quinn could roll, and then you can roll help with the HX that you have, and then depending on how you roll, he might get to add a bonus to his roll.
Okay. So because I have 1 HX with him, so what would that give me?
So that's 2d6 plus 1.
So yes,
Okay.
so you roll 2d6 plus 1.
Oh dang.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he gets now to add a +2 to his take a stock.
Okay, so that is a total of +3 for me. That's a 10.
Yeah, that's a
Love
great
me a 10.
success.
Mm.
So and then at the 2, 12, that's a great success. So as you're like, great, no, I'm supposed to find him. You look around, Quinn, and you see at the entrance to the youth center, there is, since you work with the band, you recognize that there's the only woman in the band, and she has spotted Leia. Leia is wearing, like a staff badge or something, like, a lanyard with a. And so Leia might not notice her, but she's sort of trying to get your attention, waving
Okay.
you over.
And I presume that because the questions on here are things that I can hear and smell, and mostly like I can hear the sound of a bagpipe being warmed up, and smells of like as people, nothing wildly out of the ordinary. It's just like, okay, we've got a lady who's trying to get our attention, and everything else is kind of what I would expect, or is there something strange and mysterious?
No, she just seems a little bit annoyed and just wants you to come over.
Okay. Yeah. Tap Leah on the shoulder and point over in the direction of this lady. I think we found our first witness to the crime, Sherlock.
Ooh. She pretends to smoke a pipe.
Oh my God. We are the worst double act in the world. I love it.
She's like, "Oh, thank you, Watson," and she walks over.
Okay.
Hi, can I help you?
Sorry, I was.
Miles away.
Yes. Yeah, she was listening into the tuning of the bagpipe, making sure that everything was correct. Yes, so she's like, could you help me real quick? Like, Mike's just being like a self-centered douche that he sometimes is. He went to the restroom, and I'm not gonna go in there.
Oh yeah. For sure,
And she actually looks, and so the two of you have been helping us. So, and then she looks at Quinn, like, could you go in there and just tell him to get his lazy ass out onto. Sometimes he has a little bit stage fright.
For you, I will brave the dangers of the men's bathroom.
Okay.
And I put a hand to my head in dramatic pose and stride into the men's toilets.
All right.
I'll follow and I won't go. I'm not into the bathroom, but I will follow and wait outside in the hall.
Okay. And we cut for a moment to Mila and Dubs. As people are filing out, where are you?
I might be going out to my truck to have a smoke break or something, just to I gotta get out of this building. It's getting kind of crazy. I don't want to hear this freaking band. This gosh darn band. I don't want to hear them.
I feel like while you're doing that, have you always smoked?
Ooh, we'll say that I started smoking to get smoke breaks on the job.
Okay. So Mila knows. She's seen you smoke before, probably.
Okay. Say that, yeah.
Because you probably get out of your car, smoke, and then go get coffee on your break, and she probably can smell it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's never seen you do it. You know what I mean?
Maybe like any, maybe you see the like the cigarette packets strewn around like the bed of the truck.
Yeah.
Some of the equipment.
She took your coffee since because you weren't paying attention. She's drinking it again. But she's like, cigarettes are really bad for you.
He kind of mid smoke is like, oh, don't you start this with me.
She has no idea that you think that, so.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're one to talk.
I don't smoke cigarettes.
I didn't think you did.
I'm glad we cleared that up.
Yes.
Having this conversation, you notice that 3 or 4 cars over, there's Alex, who is with Hannah, his sister, and he has an arm wrapped around her and is leading her to the car and sort of leaning down because he's really tall and lanky, and leaning down a little bit, quietly talking to her.
I kind of peek over and look at Mila and like nudge her, and you said there was some weirdness going on over there. What's is that? That's more of it. Look on your 6 behind you.
And she like is being. She's used to people watching, so she's like looking in like the rear view mirror of the car, and she's like, I'm already looking at them, like as he's like nudging her, and she has like a bruise on her arm. She like points at the rear view mirror, just being stealthy. Her side view. I didn't think it was a big deal after you said that before, but now that I think about it, she was really never like that.
Maybe that's to be something we check out, see what the deal is.
Even Alex said it was weird.
Okay, yeah, if Alex thinks it's weird, then yeah, it's weird.
I mean, they're twins. Don't they have like spidey senses or something?
They should like, they know each other's business.
Yeah.
That's how it is. The twins do.
Mila, as you're watching, sort of one more time, looking into the mirror, you cast rearview mirror or the
side view.
Side view. Thank you. You see that Hannah is looking at you.
She'll start chugging the coffee and finish it and be like, I told you I was sorry for drinking your coffee. And just kind of giving him that look.
Do I notice that old girl is staring at Mila as well? Or is just she know it?
Yeah, she looks over. You notice.
She'll just be like, hey, Hannah.
I kind of, does Hannah wave back? Because I'm sitting there, like, just waiting.
Yeah, she, no, she doesn't.
Right.
Stop. You definitely don't smoke, because it's not, First of all, you're not French, first of all.
You don't know me.
Instead of waving, Hannah sort of raises the cup that she's for some reason she's still holding on to, and but then she lowers her arm, and Mila, only you see that. Dubs, you see Hannah turning back to her brother, but Mila, you see her lowering her arm and just staring at you, and with this blank look in her face. And even though you're like 15 feet, like 4 or 5 meters away from each other, you can hear her voice almost like it's in her head, in your head, but it's very flat, monotone. And do you think what you're doing is enough to get out of here? Like, you really, really have to put your soul into it. It's not gonna work otherwise.
What if I don't have a soul?
No.
Okay.
And then, Mila, you feel dizzy for a split second. Probably blink. And then it's like a sudden switch of the scene. Hannah is turned towards, that's what Dubsy is turned towards her brother and just smiling a little bit, but definitely still looking pale and whatnot.
She'll probably go to take a step and gets a little lightheaded and kind of leans on Dubs, like puts her hand on his chest like she's gonna fall, and kind of catches herself between the car and him, and just...
Same question to you. Can Mila rationalize this away?
No.
Then
She's
I
very
would
in
like you to
control of
roll-
her thoughts and everything.
Mhm.
As dark or whatever as they may be, she knows who she is. You know what I mean? And she knows this isn't normal. And also,
Then-
she's had a lot of coffee before. This is definitely not the coffee kicking in.
Then I would like you to roll Witness the Uncanny. And I'm going to go over it real quick. Or do you... Is that
No, go
one of
ahead,
those?
because I need to be
Okay,
refreshed.
so whenever you're confronted with a supernatural, something you cannot rationally explain away, you have to roll 2d6 without any bonuses before doing anything else. You're able to keep it together, or are you about to lose your mind? On a 10 plus, add +1 to your next roll, and then, or you get a penalty. If you fail the roll, if you have a partial success, you get to choose if you want to add -2 to your next roll or take a breaking point. On a miss, the GM decides whether you take 2 breaking points or add a -1 to your next roll and 1 breaking point. Yeah, so go ahead, just straight up 2d6.
Okay. Just straight up 2d6, you said?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a 6. I would say since this was weird but not outright in your face, somebody is hovering, speaking in tongues kind of way, I would say you will add -1 to your next roll. So maybe write that down somewhere because it probably won't happen today because I'm about to wrap up. But also mark 1 breaking point. And so Dubs, you see Mila as she sort of blinks and leans against the car.
Yeah, I like immediately kind of go to grab her and like, whoa, hold on, that's and I kind of like help her to like the back of the truck and then pull down the door on the back and just sit her upon it. And like, while I'm doing this, she's probably now facing straight at Hannah and Alex if they're behind the car, but I don't realize that's what's going on. And so I'm what's the deal? What's the deal? Whatever, you gotta stop whatever it is.
She's making eye contact with you, and after that she takes the cigarette out of your hand and she's smoking, and she's just like she's kind of like mulling something over in her head, smoking your cigarette, and hands it back to you. Yep, there's something off.
Yeah, there is. There's
Yeah.
something off.
Yeah.
And you gotta confront that demon and fix it.
Let's cut back to Quinn as he enters the men's bathroom.
Voyage into frontiers unknown.
So you have some. There are a couple of stalls and there are a couple of. What do you even call them in English? In German, it's a pissoir. The things, the peeing things that hang on the wall.
Urinals?
Thank you. I knew actually. I knew that word.
Yeah.
There's urinals, or there's the big, like, kind of stretchy one.
Wait, the trough. Can I have like the trough?
The
don't
trough.
do it like sports skating?
This place feels like it's got a piss trough.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with the piss trough. That's fine.
That's a sentence I just said out loud.
I'm gonna be honest, that's an insult for my next party I'm at if I ever feel the need to insult someone. Listen, you piss trough.
Piss trough.
Did you say you're pissed off? No, piss trough.
That's the next D&D class I'm custom creating.
Yeah.
So you're entering the men's bathroom, and there's no one standing at the trough.
Yeah. It's like,
Yo,
Sunflower Man, you in
but
here?
there are 3 stalls, and one of the doors is closed, and the other is slightly ajar. And as you get in there, you hear shuffling and heavy breathing.
It's like, so I think I like walk in. It's like, hey, Mr. Sunflower guy, you taking a moment? All good? And like,
You hear mumbling, like inarticulate mumbling, and the ripping of fabric. And then a
like,
very, very faint, like a snapping sound.
like what sort of thing snapping?
Snapping, like it's like a metal sound. So as if something snapped into place.
Okay. Like, and I think, yeah, like a little bit of no, Quinn's probably doubling down on the jokes because he's now unsettled, and that's his response. As I, buddy, I don't want to interrupt you if you need some time, but you're supposed to go on soon. Like, knock on the door. Which probably knocks hard enough that if it's not locked, it will swing open. He doesn't think of that, but I don't know whether.
Yeah, it does swing open, but it doesn't. You know, since he's standing close to the door, you hit him.
Oh,
and but then he moves to the side, so that you're able to sort of see inside. And
okay.
the first thing you see is he has his arms raised, and his t-shirt hangs from his upper body in tatters. And as he turns around, you see that he is using a small a pocket knife to carve into his chest. And he's saying, I don't know what else to do. I don't know. You really have to put your heart into it, you know? Otherwise you really have to put your heart into it. I would like you to roll a keep cool.
Okay. Where is my mind?
So keep cool is when faced with a scene or task that is particularly mentally challenging, but does not involve supernatural elements, such as coming across a mangled body or being forced to make decisions under pressure.
I love, apparently several months of treating your body terribly does not an ordered mind make. That's a 5.
Well, on the upside, you get to pick 2. So you are shaken to the core, mark 1 breaking point. You become panicked and accidentally hurt yourself, take 1 harm. Or you accidentally hurt someone else, they take 1 harm. Or you risk the group's safety.
Well, shaken to the core for certain.
Okay, so you take 1 breaking point.
And then I am between somehow, like, accidentally hurting this guy or, like, staggering backwards and putting my hand through a mirror. As, like, either hurting him or hurting myself.
I mean, what is your first instinct to sort of, hi kitty, sort of to move back, sort of, or are you trying to stop him?
I think moving back is definitely what's happening. It's the question of whether it is a jump back or it is a push him away and I move back.
Well, would you want to put your hands near?
Oh, really? So I think I just like and like flail wildly and slam one hand into like a mirror or something, which then breaks.
Oh,
it
how
and,
about?
Like,
oh, you might be slipping. You might be slipping and just.
Bang my head off the piss trough.
For example.
Sorry.
Lands on the ice.
Yeah, like lands heavy, smacks his head on something. It's like fuck! Ah! What the hell, man? And yeah, I'll mark Tom and the breaking point.
So there you hear.
I hear yelling.
I yell. Yeah.
Yeah, you hear him yelling, and you hear a thought as he falls to the ground.
I open the door to the bathroom.
Okay, stop. We're cutting one last time.
Okay.
I'll come back to you in a second. Mila and Dubs, as you are sitting there, and Dubs, you're trying to find out what's going on. You hear some surprised shouts in the crowd that has gathered at this point, because they're supposed to start. And actually somebody also screams. And when you look over, you can see that at 2, maybe 3 different points, people have turned and sort of look at the ground. And in that moment, Dubs, you feel extremely dizzy. And Mila, what you say is that Dubs falls to the ground and starts convulsing.
Dubs does?
Yes, Dubs does. And 4 cars over to you, you hear Alex shouting, "Hannah, shit, what's going on?" As Hannah also slumps to the ground and begins to convulse. And we cut over to the bathroom. As Leia enters, Leia, you see 2 things. You first see the band guy who looks at you with his eyes wide, and in the process of, he's bleeding profusely, carving into his own chest and mumbling, "I have to put all of my heart into it. All of my heart." And then you see Quinn on the floor and sort of holding his head.
Like one
But then
hand holding on my head, the rest of my limbs scrabbling away.
Yeah.
As his eyes roll back in his head, and he also begins to convulse. And that is where we end our first session.
Well, guys, it wouldn't be a Petra game unless shit got real weird real quick. I love it.
It's so great.
Oh my god. Thank you very much for the bits. Thank you guys for the follows and the subs. Petra, this is awesome. I'm super excited. I'm glad I didn't watch
I just have to...
No, go ahead.
I just had to... Oh, great. Now my cat is licking her private bits in the background.
And
Terms of service!
We're just classing up the place here.
Guys, if you want some more bit licking, come back next Sunday. We're going to be playing the second of 3 parts of this. It's a 3-shot. With the same cast here, obviously. Because it would be weird if it wasn't. Unless someone dies. Then maybe not.
The role of Quinn will now be played by...
Oh. Wait, you're probably the least likely to die. You'll be fine. It's never the person...
taken harm so far.
That's not true.
No,
fair.
the comedian rarely dies. Although, well, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It's kind of a 50-50, I think.
We all die in the end. Guys, thanks for joining us. If you guys want to find specific channels from the people that are up here, guys, if you want to throw your links in there, all of us are on Twitter, and if you go to my Twitter specifically, there's links to everybody's from the posts that we've been doing. We wanted to thank you guys for joining us. It's been interesting so far. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.